Hello, everybody. Oh, I gleeked everywhere.
Gleek. It's a feeling you get when
your mouth
spit finally
when your
flies
mouth is
out.
too
No.
wet
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was better.
and the spit
and it
just
flies from
out.
your face. Yeah.
Gleek.
We apologize.
This was
Welcome
the
to the
spit-off.
Natural Ones.
Yeah,
Hi.
this is the spit-off.
The spit-off of Gleek. Or Glee, I guess.
No,
right?
Gleek. Yeah, this is a spit-off.
Gleek, the spit-off.
Welcome back to this show.
To whatever this is.
The Natural Ones.
I think this is a new episode.
It's not Glee.
This whole time?
No.
So,
It's
just
not Glee.
just as a quick announcement.
Step touches.
No, sorry, not a quick announcement. I was just gonna do a quick.
I was gonna say you're really taking your time.
I know, it's a slow, quick announcement.
Sorry, I just realized what I was saying was wrong.
Same.
Our
Sorry.
heroes made some choices, made some deliberations about what to do next, where to find their ground and bearings again, because of a lot of different factors, a lot of different things kind of coming around and coming to fruition. They have decided to go into the underneath, one of the locations through the door of their mansion, and that is where we will start. So you guys have only just declared that that is the sort of plan. So from this moment, you guys have slept and you have all woken up. You've done your research and you've learned from the books that you've been reading that it kind of does depend on the level of difficulty of the magic that you're trying to encase. But strictly speaking, none of the books you read were very specific about cost. It seems more like a trade thing than something written down in a book.
Yeah, no, I just need to know,
So you may have to-
the amount of resources I need is mostly
I
over.
forgot
Right.
that this entire
Basically, it
time
was kind
I
of
had a
like-
point of exhaustion.
Oh.
Basically, it was kind of
Takes
the
care of that.
designation of the size of the lodestone is going to
My long rest was like, would you like
ultimately
to recover
determine the
your 1
cost
point
of the castings and the
exhaustion? I was like,
fastenings and all these other
100%.
things, and
Yeah.
like
Oh.
how big the sigils
Oh,
have to
sure.
be, and so that's another point as to how developed the magic can
I almost
be.
want to ask,
Is the more skilled you are, the better your sigils can be,
honestly.
because you can place them in better order, or you can place them in a finer.
Font.
I almost said filigree, and that's not exactly what I mean.
Font.
Facet?
No, it's just that it's when you're etching it into it, it's very delicate work when it's your ring. Nerith has done a phenomenal job with. It seems like the sigils that are placed upon the ring were already done before he did the faceting
stone,
of
yeah.
the stone, and that's kind of part of it. That's what you've been reading, is that you generally will probably make the sigils and the runic parts of that before you would do anything with the stone. So it's you kind of have to know how you want it to fasten before you actually put it in there.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of cost, it's one of those things where you actually have read about each stone has a different material that it that it coexists with.
Right.
Right, where abjuration magic works the best within stone or a platinum base,
Right.
whereas a necrotic would work better in something like copper,
Right.
something that's like a ferrous
I thought
metal.
you were gonna say bone. It's
No,
Yeah.
no.
Inside a
but
corpse.
Just basically something that is.
Which copper? It's a cheaper metal.
It's cheap, but it's one of those things where it's about, you can tell about it's about the ferrous nature or the non-ferrous nature in the metal. It's about how the magic itself interacts with the matter around it. And part of the casing, part of the sigils, part of the faceting, part of all of how these lodestones get used is to protect the body. If you, part of the other thing in your research was that if you're to use a lodestone just outright, it does stuff to your body.
Yeah.
It has the potential anyway. It has the potential to do stuff to like a physical form. That's usually why the stones are cut. That's usually why the stones are placed into these fastenings. That's why this entire. It's a very, very hard skill to learn, in the sense of like it's just a lot to remember and a lot to like put forth and why you would do certain things. But each stone interacts with matter around it very differently, and so it's about knowing the ins and outs of like, well, we can use this metal with this one, so that is going to change the cost of like that is a factor to the cost of these things. Also, what you want to fasten it within. You have read things about them being placed into the pommel of swords. You've heard about it being placed into the heads of axes and hammers. You've heard about it being placed within shields. You've heard it being placed within like bracers, as well as armor
Bracers.
itself, necklaces, rings, belts.
Once we find those two yellow lodestones, we can find.
So it's one of these things where it's like there are a lot of separate opportunities for these things to be crafted, and with each thing it kind of warps the magic. Like if you want something to be a specific way, you have to put it into a specific facet within an item. Again, it's about the metal required or material rather. So crafting let's say a shield with evocation magic in it has to be made. Actually, I can't recall off the top of my head. I'll say the ones that I've already said. Like abjuration, you could make a stone shield and put a stone in that.
Right.
Or you would have to make a platinum shield.
Right.
And that means the entire casting of this metal, maybe not the entire, but it has to be within a certain spectrum of, how that metal is. You can't, it's not entirely about purity, but just like.
I couldn't have just like a thin layer of platinum on a wooden shield, because the effect the stone's going to have is going to be larger than that thin layer.
It would have to be
big enough that like
you could
the
mix
wood
it with
isn't gonna...
maybe like steel or iron. It could be
right.
it could be a mixture of other things, but it would still be it would have to be mostly platinum or something like that. So like a platinum shield of all that stuff would cost a lot.
Yeah. All right.
That's what you learn in that's kind of like the 2 days worth of knowledge, as well as the extra 2 hours that you're doing. Like, let's I want to go back into those books and see if there was anything about cost of this stuff. That's kind of what you learn, is that it's really based on the stone you have, what kind of cut it is, and from the stone you have, what metal pairs with it that is going to cost, and like the item that you're going to try to make.
So what kind of magic is the green again?
Necromantic.
Necrotic.
Necrotic. And necrotic goes into copper?
Yes.
Alright. Out of curiosity, do you know what goes into adamantite? Or adamantine? If any of
I have no idea.
I'd have to look it up, but
Not important.
from my
Yeah.
initial remembrance, most of the stones have a basic metal and a more I don't want to say mystical, but essentially like
Advanced.
an advanced metal.
Hey, magic.
So adamantite would be like the advanced metal for something.
Yeah, I believe it. If I remember correctly, it's the advanced metal for evocation magic.
Interesting.
You want to see a shield cast magic missile?
Oh my god, I want to see that
A
real
fucking shield,
bad.
fucking shield
It's
that just shoots a like shield bash somebody and a fireball comes out.
Oh.
That's evocation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Having a shield shoot something wouldn't be as effective, but you could have a shield that, like, whenever it was struck, would, like, spark fire.
Because again, it doesn't have to be specific spells.
It doesn't have to be a specific spell, yeah. It can be just be something within evocation magic. So, like, it could also be lightning. Like, it'll discharge lightning when something hits it. So, like...
They're just shocked?
Yeah!
So like,
they'll
a
drop the-
like a sword or something? It's like zzz.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that'd be so good.
God damn it.
We gotta find you a lodestone. We gotta find me a lodestone.
We
We
need
gotta find you a
lodestones.
lodestone.
We need lodestones.
We
Is
need
what
to
I'm
find
trying.
these
I've
two
been trying to
We
say
need
this for
lodestones.
days.
We just start like rubbing lodestones on our teeth. That's a lodestone. That's a lodestone. That's a fucking lodestone.
I got all the.
You don't. You're
I
right.
don't need a lodestone. I'm
you know
dead.
what? You. Oh wait, sorry. You know
Your
what?
staff's
You're
already
good.
matched.
Thank you.
Does her staff not use a lodestone? Hey, are there any? Is there any lodestones in my gauntlets?
No.
My staff does not use a
Items can be
Yeah.
enchanted outside of lodestones.
Correct.
It's just
There's a different process for both,
yeah.
and the lodestone is always going to need to be recharged, whereas some magic items like the ones you have are like a constant effect, and that has more to do with.
The gauntlets themselves have been crafted with it, as opposed to
Yeah, and it's a lot of like a time thing. Like lodestones, when you have them, are a much. To make those gauntlets, that takes like a month and a half maybe
yeah.
Like consistent
of consistent work.
work.
Whereas
If
these
I build gauntlets,
lodestones
if you could true gauntlets out
are
every month, like
drastically quicker. These things are like, you put something in there and it's probably, again, depending on the item that you're putting it into, it could be anywhere from 2 weeks to like 3 days.
Wow.
nice.
So that's supposed to be the trade-off, is that it's like you always kind of constantly have to worry about how many charges you have with the lodestones and the potential for, accidents. Whereas when you're crafting a magic item, there is some chance of failure, but it's just time consuming and it's more exact.
So
That's kind of like what you learned from Yvonne as well. So it's like that's the difference, and that's kind of why magic item creation was like, oh yeah, that's the thing we're going to focus on, and less people focused on lodestone creation, because it turned into those like early, like in real world terms, like the early days of gunpowder, where like probably a lot of people lost some fingers, like that kind of thing. It's also kind of a lost art. It's something that they did a long time ago, and then had less and less need of it.
So now the school's over. Let's go down
We
under.
go down under.
Let's go down under.
Everybody has everything they
Bones,
need.
bones on a
Everything
bobby.
has it. So
Hey, how are we packing up? So I'm gonna.
that's kind of what I want. I know.
Yeah. Quick whistle, does a keys, wallet, phone, lip gloss. Great.
Deep
I'm-
gloss.
Quick wallet, phone, beat gloss.
Mm-hmm.
Just a bunch of Vaseline. Yeah.
Thanks, I hate it.
Yeah.
I'm going to load my other shield into the bag of holding.
Which one?
The shield that I used to use, the one that's not adamant.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I'm gonna load that into the bag of holding. What are the things that I want?
Yeah, just in case you have to
Climbing
shield
gear.
surf.
Shield surfer. Who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen?
Climbing gear. Sounds
Yeah,
like
the
a good
climbing
idea.
gear's in the bag.
Great.
I'm
Tents
worried
in the
that
bag.
if we have to climb, I'm worried we'll have to leave Flanagan behind. But then we can just take the climbing gear out or whatever.
We can carry the saddle.
Yeah.
I mean, I can fly.
That's fair. Just put the saddle on you.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if I'd be able to carry the saddle. I'm a weak little bird girl.
It's not that heavy of a saddle. I mean, it's a saddle.
I mean,
It's like
Saddles are pretty heavy.
It's like, what, 20
at the
pounds?
same
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
there's
I mean,
summer
that's
camps
big
full
for
of
me.
12-year-old girls who carry them constantly.
That's true.
Like,
But they're just like fueled by their
Yeah, but I'm
quest,
weaker
their
than-
love
They're
of
fueled by
equestrian.
how much they love horses.
They just
Fair enough.
love
Yeah.
horses so much.
don't get me wrong.
Fueled by
I was a
how
horse
much
girl.
they love horses.
I
Us
spent
too.
I
Yeah,
spent
they're
years
equestrian
at summer
love.
camp taking care of horses, so I get it. It does give you a strength.
You know, as I lay there dying from a terminal illness, is a really difficult struggle. Then I just thought about how much I love horses.
And I was filled with my. Okay, so anybody else
And I
need
was able to carry
doing
saddle,
anything
and then I
specific?
died.
No, I already swapped some
Nope.
spells, so.
Well, as, soon as,
Nameless.
as soon as I wake up, I'm gonna go out to the garden. I'm just gonna tend to the garden.
Sure.
Like,
While you're just waiting for everybody to collect everything.
yeah, because I'm bringing the shield down. I'm loading it in Flanagan, his saddle, bag, of holding, and then
Good clarification. Very good clarification.
I don't think I really need to bring anything else. I'm just I'm geared up. I've got my armor and shield and everything. But
Nameless. In what capacity are we seeing?
Just Panther, because I am afraid that if we have to climb, then I will not be able to bring my fans. So, That's panther.
I wish one of us had rope trick. Oh well.
Just
I
one.
could have. I didn't swap for it. I could have.
Damn.
I have levitate.
It's not letting me add spells. I do
Okay,
want
we'll have to look over that.
Yeah.
Just-
maybe
just-
I have to do it from the computer.
Maybe, but
Yeah.
if you want one of those prepared, just, you know,
I have 2 spells prepared that I don't really want prepared. That I'd like to have one of the Unearthed Arcana options in there
perfect.
instead.
Then just keep that in mind while you're going forward, and you can still just use slots without having to.
Okay.
So just be aware of that. I trust you. Okay, if there's no other preparations needed, then you turn the dial to the underneath, and open it. It is a scarce light just surrounding the exit that you're going to. Beyond that, beyond like 10 feet, dark.
Anybody got the lights from?
I have a light spell.
And like the 3 of you who have dark vision, you are able to see through that with that, no color or anything, but like you're able to see through. It is a not low ceiling, but all the stalagmites and everything kind of make the drop to the ceiling about 20 feet. Right, like that's about how far it is to
Perfect.
to like how tall like it actually is in the room, and obviously though again these stalagmites are sitting in there, and there's room to move around them if you were to go up, but it's a lot harder. It would basically be like difficult terrain, and certainly you aren't going to be able to fly through that.
Definitely not.
And it's going to be a little tough to fly
At all.
in this place at all. I basically would say if you fly, it's like moving at half speed.
Totes. Good to know.
I'm going to take my necklace and cast daylight on it,
Okay.
which allows for there to be light shed, and then sheds dim light for an additional 60 feet.
Light
and
shed.
if I'm able to cover it,
Light shed from how much first?
60 feet,
And then
and then
60 feet
additional
outside
60
of that.
feet for
Great.
dim light.
I think I missed the 60.
Nope,
so-
I think I thought I said it. and I
Okay.
didn't. Nope. Cause like for an additional 60 feet.
I was like, whoa, what was the additional?
Was an addition to
Great. So as you
and it's a radius, so
Correct.
it's from front and back. And then I'm
as
also
you
able
step
to
out of
block
the-
the light if I hold it.
pardon me, say that.
It says that if I like where you're ready to
Yes.
go somewhere, I
Yeah,
hold
it'll
it,
block
I can
the-
block.
Yeah. As you step forward as you step into the cavern as well, you kind of like glancing back and shutting the door. The door itself is built into this sort of. The room is kind of like built into this little funnel where the door is. So the door is here where my 2 fingers meet, and then it like breaks out a little, and then does this sort of
Arc.
circle. Yeah.
Hmm.
It has a ramp of stones. Like it's not a natural stairway, or sorry, it is a natural stairway. But it's not carved or anything. It's just that it's sort of all these things position it in a way that you can move upwards. It's the only singular path out of this section.
I remember Set Lolly mentioning a real foul smell. Can I smell what that is?
The
Can I see if I
air
can try to identify
is
it?
musty and damp,
Mhm.
slightly. There's not a lot of water in this place, you can tell, but there's some that just kind of is in the air.
Okay.
But there is a very real stench of just kind of
I'm wondering.
not unnatural decay. It just feels like there's just some stuff in here that is dusty and old.
Okay. It doesn't, but it doesn't smell like freshly dead or
No.
dead stuff or large creature. Like, you know how like big animals have a smell to them?
Does this smell
Right.
like
You
wet
would.
dog?
You would. If you
Does
want to
it
know if
smell
there's
like
a.
wet dog?
If you want to know that, I'm gonna need a perception roll.
Does it smell
But
like?
like everything else, you can determine. Just smells old and musty. It doesn't smell like anything particular.
There's
I
no
just
like
have a small
gas-like
sneaking
smell.
suspicion. Hey, that's a natural 20, so it would be a 29.
You are very good at sneaking.
There are no.
I'm real good at smells.
There, it is not a smell of a large animal or anything.
Thanks, babe.
Yeah, nothing like that. Nothing distinctly animalistic or like pungent.
Okay.
It
Nothing
really is
smells-
just sort of like, yeah, this is just, we're deep underground and
It
it's
just
not
smells
fresh
moldy.
air.
Okay, great.
Well, I'm glad we got a natural 20 for that.
I know, I'm like, I wish I could have just like rolled a 12.
Can you pocket that 20 for later?
I know, I really like to. I'm really scared.
Can we grab a torch from inside real quick?
What, my daylight isn't good enough for you?
I mean, fire might be nice to have, though. For warding off.
So
things.
that way we have something to keep things lit in case you need to do something else other than having the daylight.
It doesn't think it needs concentration, is it? It's not concentration.
Oh, so it doesn't go away if you need to do something else?
No.
That's why I have to cover it.
Oh,
I mean, it only lasts an hour, but like I also have fire.
It just might be nice to
You
like...
guys also have torches on you.
I can
Yeah,
I can
I'm-
also tinker things into being lit up.
Yeah.
At any point, we have any number.
Yeah,
of
you
those.
guys have enough things that you wouldn't have to take an actual torch or anything.
Yeah.
From
we
the house.
We have unlit.
From the house specifically is what I mean.
Then let's proceed.
Let us. Verily.
Flanagan has a little bit of trouble getting up the stairs, but he's able to do it.
Okay. We don't need to go fast. Like,
That's what I mean. He's still moving at a normal pace. It's just, it's a little tricky in some spots for him.
right.
Do lodestones normally glow?
Do they?
I'm not sure. That's why.
Ask the master.
I look at my
Do-
ring. Is it glowing?
It's like gray. Does gray
Oh.
Do
glow?
lodestones normally?
It's also not dark.
Glow?
Do lodestones normally glow?
No.
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 Oh,
Okay.
no.
They have a, again, they have like a liquid. It's like an encased liquid. It's not really glowing. It's not like, hi, I'm a lodestone.
Yeah, that's what I was looking. I was like, can I like keep an eye out for?
Does
glowing
Flanagan
weird
weigh less than
rocks?
500 pounds?
Flanagan was less than 5. How much does Elks weigh?
How much does elks
I would
weigh?
imagine less than 500.
How do the elks weigh?
Like
Yeah,
probably like 300.
I,
yeah,
yeah.
I would say like
Max.
350.
It's not. It's not that they're that much less than 500.
Yeah, but I
it's
would
just
not
that
500.
yeah.
I'm thinking like baby hippo.
Well, because you have to
Yeah.
think like hunters are going
when I
to
was born.
kill elk, and
Yeah.
then
They do carry
My mom
them,
said I
so
was
I mean...
500 pounds.
that's what I
Yeah,
mean. Is like
yeah.
hunters can
You could
Drag them
you
around.
could
drag them. So
technically,
when you're
yeah.
dragging 300 pounds, it's very
him.
different than lifting 300 pounds.
Ooh, boy.
Oh, Boise.
Male, 710 to 730 pounds. Female, 500 to 530 pounds.
They big boys.
We're way off.
They big boys.
They're how much?
700 pounds.
I was thinking I could levitate Flanagan if we needed to, but I can only levitate up to 500 pounds.
You just tie a rope to him.
But you can levitate
Yeah, just-
Panther then.
Yes, I can levitate Panther. If necessary.
Alright, well,
We move
let's
forward.
proceed. We proceed.
So you get towards the end of the hallway. You are Lolly, Click Whistle. You guys kind of investigate the wall. You're able to find this sort of like teardrop-shaped discoloration in the wall. You place your hand on it, and you have to really push into it to be able to, like, get it to push in. But as you do, you all hear, and even without a hairline fracture in the wall just kind of drops down. It was not indicated before. As you step out into the alleyway, Philip heading the charge, as the cacophony of noise starts to break through, there's sounds of hammers hitting rhythmically. There's sounds of what sounds like metal to stone. There's rail, like sounds like metal on metal, like just like something sliding on metal. You hear a bunch of like voices. They're all muffled together, but it's like hundreds of voices, thousands of voices maybe. and there are a lot of gruff and sort of mixed voices. And you come out to the hall. You come out into this darkened alleyway, but less darkened by your daylight. As you look to the right of you, there's a stone slab that all seems worked into the wall, like very cleanly. It doesn't seem as if it has any fractures or anything. It seems like it was made specifically through the wall. To the left of you is jagged and cracked rocks, things that are unworked, unfinished. The ground in front of you is cobblestone. As you move forward down this 50-foot alleyway, the cobblestone eventually becomes worked stone, and it becomes placed stone. It almost looks singular. It almost seems like it's all just one slabbed stone road. The only offset thing is the offset lines of how you lay bricks and things like that. It's the only way you can really determine that these things are set in segments. As you step out into this thoroughfare, this street of this giant city, this city stretches on, it seems 5-6 miles. You're not entirely certain, but Liam, you have a kind of judge of distance, as well as you, Nameless, can kind of gauge the specific circumferences and things like that. Towards the center of this giant city is this sort of mushroom-like chandelier that is as if like the glowing mushrooms of subterranean glowing mushrooms, not building out from the bottom, building out from the top.
So it comes down and then.
Yes, and that's what I mean by chandelier. It's it's from the this giant cavern ceiling drops this sort of mushroom-like fixture, growing out all throughout the rest of the circumference of the cavern are smaller versions of that. It all has this sky blue light that gives off the sense of daylight. When you look at it, and the only times that there are times where you can tell that it's mushrooms because it looks very different and it pulsates like a heartbeat. But sometimes, as you're looking at it, there are these moments where it really does just look like the sky. Like normal sky. There's just, when it pulsates, you can really tell the difference of it, and it's also just, there are fragments of it that are still cavern ceilings, so you can see the holes in the illusion, but it's one of those things that it almost gives off the same feeling. You have building next to you carved in different materials, all different types of stone, all different, some of them even metal. There's an obsidian tower close to the center of the city, right underneath the chandelier. There are minecart tracks that lead all throughout the city. It's a multi-planed city as well. There's a lot of things that deal with a lower plane and a higher plane of you kind of start to notice that the things on the higher side are certainly more ornate. And
are we looking at a subterranean Ba Sing Se, sort of tiered city?
Yeah,
okay.
You're getting a sense of that. As you look, where you're at on the street as well is, as you come out, there is just a sheer 200-foot drop. As you look out into part of the city, that's a lot of these things. A lot of these minecarts seem to go down further. The chasm between you and the next part is maybe only about 50 feet. So it drops fairly large, but the distance between you and the next level right below you, 50 feet. So it's not
still a ways to fall.
Yeah, that's
right.
definitely
it's
killable.
Not a problem.
falling.
Not a
Just
problem.
50 feet. It's
Yeah,
fine.
But
I
it's
fly,
the
so it doesn't
distance
matter to me.
between you and the next thing is 50. So it's it drops, from what you can see, 200, maybe more. But
So it's
you would
that
have to
open
jump
chasm.
50 feet to get to the next thing. So it's all with encompassing.
We move
The minecarts go all circumference around
Can you
the
fly?
entire city. You can see them everywhere. You can see them coming from the high caste, let's say, and to the very to the low tiers. Around you, to the left of you, you can kind of see that you would be able to walk around the curve either to the left or the right of the city. To the left of you seems more amber lighting and kind of the lights of a forge. Like you're seeing a lot more things that kind of like, and that's like kind of where you're hearing the hammering noises, the rhythmic hammering. To your right, you're seeing a lot more. You're seeing things like, you do see a tavern pretty close. You also see other things that are like businesses. You seem to be on like the shopping, or like the storefront tier of the city. It seems like you're seeing, as you look closer towards the center of the city, you see a lot more housing structures. You see things that have like windows and balconies, things that like look out, and so it seems like the way they've placed it is this. You can maybe surmise that like maybe you're looking at more of an outer tier of businesses, at least where you're standing. There is a set of stairs just a little bit to your right, but forward, leading down, and that is. You also see a couple, like the races around you as well are mainly dwarf and gnome. You don't see many other people walking about. Not even like humans even. It's just sort of like there's a group of them kind of like sitting not too far away from you playing like dominoes, and two of the dwarves are sitting there, and there's a gnome there.
I've imagined this dwarven game that is like a mix of dominoes and Jenga, but they're building basically like these stone henges out of dominoes.
They're playing
and
that.
stacking
That's
them
so
to
cool.
see-
That's exactly what that
That's
is.
exactly what they're
exactly
doing.
what
They're
they're
playing that
doing.
game.
I'd like to go up to the table and play it, Tyler.
What are
Okay,
the rules?
let me
What are the goddamn
go get
rules?
Let's play
Jenga
this game.
out of dominoes.
Sure, let me just go to the bathroom real quick for 10 minutes and write furiously.
You guys role play.
You guys roleplay while I go to the bathroom.
Wouldn't you guys like to go to the
So
grocery
what?
store?
I'm sorry that was kind of a long. Whew. Sorry, that was just a lot of.
Philip
Yeah.
is literally vibrating
Philip just-
with
Philip
how
just-
bad.
As any adventurer knows, if you're in a new city, best way to get info is go to a pub.
Bob!
Phil just turns around.
I mean, there's
Liam, I guess whoever's closest, just like, we're in Rakia. We made it to Rakia. We're in Rakia.
Let's find out if that's true.
It's got
I
to
like
be
the
right.
hypothesis. I agree it is likely
I'd like
true.
to go to the gentleman over there,
Hood up.
or the people playing the dominoes.
It's three gentlemen. There's
Excuse me, are we in Rakia?
You're assuming they're gentlemen.
They're like
Morgan
laughing with
Lady's
each other
got
and talking to
idiots.
each other, and as you approach, and like, because nobody's been paying attention to you before this, and as you like walk up, and you're like,
Excuse me, are we in Rakia?
they kind of.
Hello?
Bless
Sorry,
you.
that was.
Bless you.
It's all that stale air in this
It really
this
is.
tavern city.
Oh, these mushrooms are getting me.
Reminds me of City of Embers.
And the gnome, like the dwarves, just kind of look at you, and the gnome speaks up. As, you have to watch out for my friends here. They just don't know how to talk to people.
I understand that.
Yeah, you're in Rakia. I mean, surely that should have been understood. I mean, it's not easy to get here.
You're right. I have
We found the back door.
memory problems.
Okay.
None of that.
That's also good. That's also
Oh.
fine.
Hey, Philip. This
Hey.
is Philip. He's like Rakia's biggest fanboy.
Hi. I wave the Roback symbol that I got from Pavarish back in Farah a year and a half ago.
Okay.
18 months ago.
Like, hi. I'm so happy to finally be here. This city's amazing.
The dwarves kind of look at you too, like size you up, and the gnome looks at you. That's great, friend.
Well, sorry to bother you. We'll be on our way. We've got a lot of things to look at.
Hey,
Sure.
where's your favorite pub, friend? What's the best pub in town?
Kind of just like look at each other.
Says an air creature to the underground people.
What's a bird doing under?
I know, what the fuck is this bird?
I mean, what do you like to drink?
Juice.
Everything.
Okay.
Everything but juice.
Anything but juice.
He kind of looks
said
at
you could
Or
he
milk.
looks at his friends.
Blech.
Does anybody speak Dwarvish?
I bet I do.
Oh, I would not be at all surprised if Set Lally just like knows.
I actually don't. That's one I
Damn it.
don't speak.
Is that features and traits? No. What is that under?
Proficiencies.
No.
But I
have
think
no
that'd be
use
pretty
for
funny
languages.
if I didn't know it.
No, common and goblin.
Nobody speaks
You
dwarven?
speak Goblin?
Yeah.
Common Goblin is my rap name.
You have so
Common
many.
Goblin.
Do you speak Dwarvish?
No, I do speak Gnome though. I might bust that.
Nobody speaks dwarvish. Great.
No.
I got.
You just see him like say something to his two friends. They think about it. They say something back to him, and he looks at you guys and he's like, "Yeah, there's one right down there. That's pretty good.
What's the name?
I mean, it says so right there on the sign. I'm sure you can find it." Keeps playing the game.
Take a look over. It just says Bleach Factory.
Bleach.
I'm
More
gonna
reforms are us.
in Gnomish.
Ether exclusive.
I'm just gonna say, I appreciate your service.
His ears kind of like perk to it. Looks at you. Interesting. In Gnomish.
He just laughs.
Kind of like. Okay. They're kind of like dirt sodden too. They seem like they've got like greasy hands.
Dirty
They've just
fingernails.
they just seem like it's like all this like soot covering their wrinkles and stuff.
What's the?
I want to towards that pub.
Yeah, me too.
And
Yeah.
I do that.
I follow.
Yeah.
I don't have any money.
In,
Me neither.
Yeah.
Actually, wait,
In,
no, I do have money. Hang on.
I
Wait,
have-
what did I get as a reward
just
for the
gonna give him
half
one
the
of these
tournament I
movies.
won?
For drinks.
You got a silver trophy.
What? It was silver
Mhm.
trophy.
Oh,
Mhm.
silver?
Okay.
I
It
have-
was. I mean, it was worth the same in silver as his was in gold, which was.
We got distracted by his eye being gone, so we didn't go.
No,
over,
this isn't.
True.
This was the first tournament I competed in.
Oh,
Before
the
that
first
happened.
tournament you got a gold one, which was worth five gold. No, it's worth 10 gold if I recall.
I have 4 gold.
And then you got a silver one that was worth 15.
Okay. I mean, can I put down those amounts in my gold, or should I go
Yeah,
to the
you can
bar
do that.
here and
No,
All right.
I'm-
You
and
smelt
try and
it down
trade
into your
them?
own
So-
coin.
Yeah.
I also have money, so
You walk over to the bar as
I've got
he's
you. It should
figuring
look
out what
big.
he's trying to say. You walk over to the tavern. It
forgot
is
it was
called
his bird.
the Terse Goat.
Terse goat.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you said there was a goat, and I was about
So
to be
the
like,
the
I
sign
pet
itself
it.
is also
I
like
take
this,
it.
It's my new
this-
baby.
this like profile of a ram and like a ram's
Angry.
head.
Just with a big, like, angry eyebrow.
Yeah,
You said
it's got a
five?
pipe.
And a
Can I just look at it and I go,
Billy Goat.
Same. I pull out
Same.
my pipe. No. Can I? So 5 gold, 15 silver. Sorry.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
As they head to the pub, just want to say to the gnome again. Just want to say like, I apologize for the brusque manner of my companion. We're new to a lot of things, really.
He
But
sets down another. It certainly shows, friend.
you
And
see,
his,
we're
his
just,
two dwarven friends sort of like chuckle at it and play
I'm
their
speaking in
pieces.
Gnomish.
Mhm.
They speak Gnomish as well.
They chuckle at it.
Alright.
Hell yeah. Okay, in that case, I'm just gonna say. Okay. In that case, continuing in Gnomish, I'm just gonna say,
deep speech. What else do I speak?
you see, we're all trying to do what we can to help people in all the places we can, and well, personally, for a long time, I've really wanted to see the sort of place that the great Eliana Hellpike came from.
They all kind of like.
I've heard incredible stories of this place and the people from it, and I'm just happy to finally have a chance to learn about it, you know?
The dwarves look at you and. Not any real emotion. They just start to watch you. Before they were just paying attention to their game, but as soon as you say the Hellpike name.
You see,
They
there's
look at each other and kind of look at you. And the gnome stops. He's like, well, It's good to know somebody reads history. Certainly an interesting reason to come out here. Just kind of looks you over.
Well, that's...
You don't look like a... Kind of like, like soaks all of you in, and he's like... Seems strange, friend. You seem like someone who, like, looks at your shield. You one of them religious types?
Oh, I suppose you could say so. Really, all I want to do is help spread fortune to as many people as I can, the way that I feel ROI wants us to. It just so happens that at the moment we're actually trying to help some people from the Thorgal clan. Actually, they've recently come across some tragedy, and we're trying to help minimize it. And
the two dwarves kind of...
I thought this would be a good place to sort of look around and see,
One on the right
Well,
has
we
like
can do
a, like, what is it? A horseshoe bald spot, I think is what it's called.
Oh, so he's
monk.
so that hair on the side. So like,
Yeah, and it's like
The Picard.
the Picard.
Picard,
That's
a
way
full-
better. I like that better.
A full Picard.
He's got a Picard.
sounds a lot
and
better
he's-
than the
As
name.
And
a
he's just
future
got-
wearer
and it's
of
just
the
like-
Picard. That's what I prefer.
He's got just a mustache that kind of like grows into like the handlebar, which goes into like these big braids. It's this like sort of rich, honey colored hair, and he's got like this like copper skin, and he looks to you and says, "You know the Thorgals."
Yeah, we met them at their mining outpost out in Sestet, and they've had a very unfortunate spot of tragedy lately. And, well, we're trying to do what we can to help out.
What exactly did you say that what was their tragedy?
Some of the members of their company ended up getting wrapped up in some... They had a client who ended up roping them into some very shady practices.
You hear him like say something in Dwarvish, and then he's...
Four of them unfortunately have died. There's one more that we're... hoping to
sometimes
still save.
happens, it's occupational, I suppose.
Sure, but
That's why you stay here and rake you. And like he and his friend are like, "Arr, arr, arr."
well, they're on their way back now.
Good, maybe they'll stay this time.
Either way, the biggest thing is there's still one of them that we can save, so we're trying to figure out what we can do to do so.
Good luck.
Well, I appreciate it.
They kind of like go back to their game.
Like this idea that Philip's the kind of person who, like, on a first date will drop all of like his entire life story at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
Good
yes.
dad,
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
only
Yes.
who just went on a date where the man was like,
oh yeah. No, Liam too. That's why we get along so well.
Yeah, I'm gonna head back to the pub where they went.
Great.
Yeah.
So,
Pub.
terse goat.
Bub.
The what goat?
The terse goat.
Terse goat.
Pissed off-
It's the goat smoking on
the
the sign.
pissed off goat.
I walk in. Are people smoking in there?
Yeah, a few people.
I pull out my pipe.
Pull out your pipe.
What do we see? What's it look like?
It is sort of a smoke hazed room.
Right.
Smoke hazed room. Everything is built out of stone. This whole entire building is kind of carved into it. The seats, however, are made of like a wood type. It's a wood. It seems more like an oak or maybe some sort of
Solid.
like maple, stuff like that. And they have this U-bar. So it like starts on one end, goes back, comes across the side, and then comes back towards the front. So a lot of the
Picard bar.
yeah, the Picard bar.
The full Picard.
The tables kind of like move into that U space and kind of all around, and there is a battered and unused piano in the left corner of the room. It seems
I wanna try to play
old.
it.
Dust is on it. Like, it is caked in something and just sits there.
I want to try to play it. I don't think
But there are plenty of people, they're all kind of like having their own conversations. There seems to be, nobody's drinking alone. It seems like they're all kind of together.
Alright. Are there people at the bar, like sitting at the bar?
Yeah, there's people at the
Okay,
bar,
well,
there's people at tables.
Vaguely near one of the groups by the bar.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll flag down a bartender or a drink.
Okay. A lot of the structure of this place is built a little bit not to your guys' height specifications.
So,
like, especially you, Philip, as you get into this bar, it's not that it's super small. It's just that, like,
Enough to crane your neck.
like it's like the ceilings may be here.
Ooh.
Like it's
You're
just
avoiding
it's
light
just above
fixtures.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're kind of
Thank God I don't
ducking
have my
here
numbers
and then,
Mm.
What?
and there is also.
What?
I'm sorry. You were saying you flagging down a bartender.
Yeah.
One of them kind of was like wiping something down and then walks over to you guys, to your group, and is finally noticing you all.
Yeah, we don't really stand out.
Yeah, no, not at all.
How may I help you?
I was just looking for something to drink.
Right.
Do you have a house special? And do you guys brew yourselves, or do you get from somewhere else in the city?
Well, no, they brew alcohol.
And he like walks over to the side and he brings out a menu.
Oh! I thought he was just gonna bring out
Did
one
you just ask if
bottle.
they have craft?
He didn't answer.
No, I want if they brew it in themselves.
Are you
like, I
like
don't know.
microbrew or are you like?
I would like to go play the piano.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm proficient in it because
Ah, piano. The desert guitar.
I just have a feeling
Like a
I would
tie,
know how.
does it?
So as you go to the piano, sit down. Again, it is caked in dust.
Oh, I believe that.
And like you move the lid towards the keys.
Mm-hmm.
You play one note, and it. It's super out of tune.
So out of tune.
And as you
Dang.
play those first two things,
Uh-huh.
the entire bar just starts to look at you.
Pick their pockets. No.
Dude, don't tempt me,
They
bitch.
don't seem
Don't
pleased,
tempt
but they
me.
don't seem up in arms. They're not shouting, they're not anything, but all of your conversations have stopped.
Alright.
Like click
Oh,
with
On
some
the
phrases.
menu,
Hey, Liam.
Yeah.
Do you wanna tinker this thing back into shape real quick?
I might be able to. I might need a drink in me first, though.
Definitely, it doesn't seem like they like when we touch the piano.
Well,
Are you
they
mean-
can't possibly hate
Attitude.
some of the hymns that we recited back in the church.
Oh, I'm not singing no hymns. I'm gonna get it popping in this.
on the menu
bar.
are
They just
like
I mean,
Shit.
brothel hymns aren't really hymns. I mean, church hymns.
on the menu is like
Fucking
4 different
upsets.
drinks. There's an
Just
ale,
good.
there's a
I was
cider,
thinking
there's a
of
mead, and then there's a wine.
Ooh, a mead. Looking for something a little stronger.
Oh, I'll have a mead too, actually. That sounds
2
delicious.
silver.
How have you
Good.
even had mead before the Renaissance Fair?
I actually used to have table mead.
So
I used to keep mead
I feel like we're getting a little disparate here.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, just all around. I just feel like we're just. I just want to get back into it.
Yes.
He sits down. He goes over and grabs the 2 mead, and sets it down in front of you and has his hands on it. After like yeah, you put the. He goes, maybe tell your friend not to do that.
What's with the piano?
It's our piano.
Do you not play it?
No,
Why?
don't know how.
I mean, do you mind if I try and tune it for you?
Oh my god, make a Westworld piano.
Yeah, sure. I
Cracking my
guess.
fingers to get ready to play this
I mean,
piano.
like if it's
It's like
going
an auto
to,
scroll.
I don't
or-
care.
Yeah, it's like one of those ones that like
Okay.
scrolls with
Yeah.
like the thing.
is not the problem. No one is going to hit us if we tune the piano.
I didn't say that.
What song do I want to pretend to play on the piano?
There's this great desert song that we
Play
do
the
in
West
the
Coast
monastery. Twinkle, twinkle,
So, what are
little
you doing?
star.
Uh,
Yeah,
Good
so
as
grab
hell.
my mead. Sorry, I need to take out 2 of my copper. Okay, or 2 of my silver. Damn, I'll head over and beautiful. I'm gonna start pop open the. Is it a upright or grand or baby grand?
Upright.
Upright, cool. Pop
Like
it
a
open.
honk-tonk piano.
I'm just gonna double check all the strings, make sure they're all there.
Sure.
Pull out one of my things and start adjusting the.
Go ahead and give me a tinker's check.
While
I can
he's
do
Tinker
that.
tools. Yeah.
while
Yeah.
he's tinkering, can I just take a general like sort of temperature of the room? Like, does it look like people are like really pissed that we're touching the piano, or is it like
Again-
more curious? Or
Again,
like,
it wasn't heated look towards Setlali when she touched it.
Uh.
Or even when Liam's going over there to mess with it more to help her out, and Setlali's also messing with it. It's just
I have
an
this song
awareness
that
of
I
your
love.
guys' presence after that moment. And now people are just watching you all.
Yeah.
And it's,
A
again,
snake, a bird, a human.
much
an orc,
much
an
like
elf.
much like the name of the bar, people just seem terse. They do not seem angry. They just seem
terse.
Don't worry.
stoned.
I got the perfect.
Can I see
got the
if I
perfect
can
song.
remember? Sure, we had an organ or something back at the an organ or a piano back at the.
Sure.
It wasn't really a monastery.
Sure.
Awful.
Back at the church.
Church.
I want to see if I remember any
Any actual.
of the dwarven passerby. If they-
Sure,
if
go for it.
any
I
of their-
understand what you're saying. Yeah, go for
Any
it.
of their folk songs or anything.
Come
I
on,
mean, I have a
Buffy,
song
like-
prepared.
16.
16.
I'm ready.
Yeah, just for.
You are
It's a good bar
able
song.
to within. It takes you a bit of time
Yeah, that's fine.
because it's not an easy fix,
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
can
no.
tell that like you would have to do a lot of extensive work to make it permanent.
Yeah.
But you know that like there's like 7 wires missing.
Right.
And so you have to kind of like use part of your kit to like
Yeah.
mitigate that, and you start to like oil up some of the and like make sure that like some of the keys have been sticking, and so you kind of like work on that and you make that tighter. You replace some of the padding on some of these things. You rework the pedal, the singular pedal that this thing has, into actually doing what it needs to do.
Is it the mute pedal or is it the sustain pedal?
It's the same.
Okay.
It's a sustain pedal. And but basically it takes you about half an hour to do all of that. Like to really like get this piano back into maybe working for the day, or like maybe working for a week or something like
Yeah.
that. Like about half an hour. And that's you working just like
Yeah.
like you're not even thinking and you're just going for it. People are watching you do it though. And like 1 or 2 of them you're taking the temperature of the room, so you would notice this. A few of them kind of like look at what he's doing and like
Are okay with it?
less okay and just
And just sort of like, okay. Like
appreciative.
yeah.
Not appreciative, but just appreciating.
He's
No,
trying
I'm
to-
saying the wrong word. I'm saying the wrong
Work
word.
with your hands.
Just sort of like
taking note.
appraising. That's what I'm saying.
Ah.
Appraising the work that he's doing and being like,
Look good.
yeah, and like continue on with it. Go ahead. What's your check?
10.
Not. You remember about 20% of how it goes in terms of like the melody. You don't remember any of the words.
Okay.
So you feel like you could fake it if you want to.
I'm gonna keep trying to. Well, I'm assuming that they'll know the words.
I'm happy to play my one song that I realized I can't play if we want to keep the stream on.
Oh, yeah, because it's a
YouTube
real
version.
song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not my version of it. Not anymore. I changed the
Yeah,
name
no,
of it.
I'm pretty sure hymns are fairly certain hymns
It
are.
was definitely.
It was not a him.
Oh,
It
okay.
was not
That
a
was
him.
why I was like,
It was
alright.
a the Setlali version is Jenny and the Bets.
Oh.
Jenny and the Bets.
Who's Jenny?
Do.
Yeah. Who's Jenny?
Who's Jenny?
And
It doesn't matter. It's not the actual song is what matters.
It's just the easiest song to play on piano.
Exactly.
It's a really easy
It's literally just
song.
going do
I could play Apologize.
I know how to play When the Saints Go Marching In for reals
what
though.
else are we doing? What else?
Well,
we
can we
got?
just pretend like
Well,
I'm
did- what
serenading the
happened-
people to try to change
Go
their
ahead and give
mind?
me a performance check.
Ooh, let's see what.
Go do the Mountain Dews.
And no proficiency because you don't have proficiency
I
in the piano.
Don't. Well, also, I'm not proficient in performance anyways. I have a +1 to that, so whatever I roll.
Oh, come on, come on,
Come on, you've been
come on,
doing
come on,
good.
Come on.
That's a natural fucking 20!
Oh, it's the best song that ever
Little did we
heard.
know, Beethoven was with us.
Oh, it's the best song.
You know,
Nicktoven.
Beethoven.
one of my
Wolfgang
teachings at the monastery was concentration. And so they had me play the piano for hours. I'm sorry, I should probably be doing this in character voice.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
Can I just like cover like the general like bars of like
Yes.
this is like what I remember of like this like dwarven.
Yes. You can
Yeah,
totally,
I'll play
you can
that for
totally
you.
give her the.
I transpose it into like 6 different keys for everyone.
Yeah,
Can
Yeah,
I also
just-
then do an
just
interpretive
like take it
dance
from there,
next
yeah.
to it?
I'm like,
If you want to do an interpretive dance, give me a performance check.
Do I have a
Absolutely
song?
not. I'll fail
Do
that.
you know the song?
Yeah.
Roll me a history
I
check.
just go.
I don't know the song.
Once I'm hearing it, does it help jog my memory a bit?
No.
Can I?
You're limited.
That's
you're limited by
6.
what you remembered
It's not
initially,
that.
and
I
it's
was
like
what are you talking about?
you're like-
It's 17.
you keep singing it to yourself. You're like, oh man, I just can't remember the next lyric. I can't remember the next
It's not about the
word.
words.
Just
It's
sing
just
it in a
about like
different
the
language.
it's just about the
Tune of
notes. They'll know the words, like whatever.
Well, I'm saying even the notes. You're just like
But like
how does
even
it-
hearing it doesn't make it go like. Oh yeah.
Lolly starts to like improv her own sort of rendition. What'd you say? Your
I don't
check
know.
was?
It's a 6.
Oh yeah, certainly not.
Can I do a
Performance
talent?
check.
Can I do a talent dance?
Yeah, performance check.
Oh, it's a natural one.
Cool.
After the mead, there's just like a moment you're like, oh god, I spilled it all
Can I
over.
grab her
Yeah.
and put her back in the chair?
Yeah.
I'm still having a good time though.
Same.
So Setlali kind of like improvs her way through this song that you barely know, and as it's playing though, the dwarves kind of
Yeah.
like they start like there's a couple of them that like aren't even looking at the piano, aren't even looking away from anything but their drink or their friend, and just like
Wait, we want to.
absent-mindedly just yeah, like pounding in rhythm, saying the lyrics in Dwarven, and it's one of those things where they kind of there's moments where you can tell that they're going somewhere else that Setlali is playing, but they just kind of keep singing, and then as Setlali keeps playing, she's like listening to them and like changes the song to like it's one of those
Can I
things where
change
like
to
you're
one
not
all of us
proficient in
know?
this thing, and you're just
That is
it's
not.
a simple enough.
I think she has
It's
to
a
be now.
simple enough song that you were able to like do it.
Figure it
It's
out.
probably
knows the
kind of
song.
dirgy.
I know a song that all of us know that is not copyrighted at
Okay,
all.
go for it. No, not that song. No, not that song.
There's
Just imagine on piano though.
Well, I asked permission first.
there's
It's
no
not
there's
that
no way
song.
you know that song. Like how would you know that
You don't
song?
know that song.
Oh, I know that song.
Across the sea.
Little does she
It
know.
made it all the way to the monastery. I heard that song.
Some squeaky gnome gets up and he's like, "Oh, I heard this great one about this hero from Jortenia."
I know.
And I'm like, no.
He killed a bunch of goblins by crushing a dam, like breaking a dam.
But yeah, it's kind of like catching the bar. They're not as jovial as other places that you have
they're terse.
Well, yeah, they're grumps.
a little
They're
bit.
terse
Yeah.
notes.
But like they seem to enjoy it. Like after you start playing and after the piano has been fixed or whatever, they kind of like they're starting to just lean into it a little bit. They're not just like overzealous or anything, and they're not getting really rambunctious into it. But a lot of dwarven music also has a lot of rhythmic nature to it. A lot of things.
That's what I'm gonna do.
You're gonna do stomp.
Yep. See if I get a better response.
Oh my god, you could wild shape into a horse and do stomp.
Clack.
I gesture you to come over to me towards the bar.
okay.
Flag in the bartender.
You flag him down and.
Wait, listen, I got a bet going with my friend here.
Huh?
I got a bet going with my friend here on the
Yeah.
pronunciation of the city we're in.
Yeah.
Could you clarify first? I need to know if I this one.
Oh, it's Ulankar!
I thought it was Reiki.
Well, Reykjavik's the country.
Oh.
I'm assuming we're in the capital.
I mean, your friend said it right there, Ulankar.
Ulankar.
Ah, no, the thing is,
Sorry.
I thought it was Yulengar.
Right.
Sorry, that's
We appreciate it.
that's my bad. I owe you a drink, my man.
Thank you kindly.
I mean, I will totally repay that debt. Ulenkar.
Ulankar. That means we're like right under Mount Kulaman, huh? Oh man. How tall is it? It's gotta be a really tall mountain.
Yeah, it is.
Oh man.
Pardon all the questions. I'm sure you don't get a lot of tourists here that often.
Not here.
I'm not a tourist.
I'm a dwarf through and through. Oh, you're talking about.
I'm a venture.
Yeah, we don't get many people through this bar that ain't already working over there. And he kind of points to the direction towards where you guys kind of heard the hammerings and what might be the forge.
The Dwarven Forge?
The Dwarven Forge.
Oh.
Sponsored by.
Sponsors, please.
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 Could you tell us
Your
which way
sets are
we'd
so
head to the
cool.
city if I wanted to check out the markets? Looking for some shops.
Yeah, is there any place that we could get some real good, clean weaponry?
Yeah.
Alright.
So unhappy.
No, just
I know,
tourists.
tourists. We're the crop
Alright,
wearing
so
tourists.
you're on the outer ring.
Right.
Right? There's 4 rings to Ulankar. This outer one is where all the shops will be. You'll find all the tools you want. It's kind of where we start going into the mines. It's from the outer ring. Once you go to the 3rd ring, or sorry, the
next ring.
the next ring.
Yeah,
I should
we know what
say.
you're saying.
Yeah,
We're
it's
ring
like,
number 4, 3, 2, 1.
Exactly.
Dante's.
Dante's model.
The next one has all the succubus. It's great. That's
That's
why we
the
have
succulents. It's weird.
It's alphabetical, you know. Dante's alphabet. You know?
First one sucking butts. It's like, oh no.
Sucking butts.
Hey. It's
So-
either the most fun or the least fun, depending on how you feel.
The ring of suction cups? A lot worse than you would think.
They fly through the air.
Now I'm gonna make a one shot of us going through Dante's Inferno.
But it's
But it's
like
Dante's alphabet.
Yeah, but it's like a goofy Dante's Inferno. So Ophiel? God damn it. The next ring, and from that, you're gonna find yourself in, higher society.
Oh, I'm definitely not
Like
here
a-
for this. I don't know why I'm reacting.
No,
Stop playing
no.
the piano.
No. You see, most of those rich folks, they get the spot closest to the mines.
Why would you want to be? I mean, I'm sure there is a very simple answer to this, but why would you want to be very close to the line?
You get to work sooner.
Ah, okay, all right. No, I thought that
Just
was
like
the
in holes.
ask a stupid question, get a stupid answer. I understand.
But you're the first to get the shovel.
Just like you.
Oh,
Just gotta keep.
How do they feel about peaches and onions?
And audience, pickled peaches.
Is it peaches?
Also,
peaches.
She's like,
it's
just
the
one
teachers
about
in
peaches.
charge.
That's
also
what- yeah,
people
yeah.
of another racial background, because that's kind of also a really important part of that story.
Huh?
Yeah. So I'm gonna keep moving on. The next ring after that, he says, that's where you're gonna find a lot of clan houses.
I don't know what you're laughing
With a
about.
K or a C. A K or a C.
Why am I laughing? I know you
Second
too
ring-
well. I
second
just know
ring.
you too well.
I don't know what you're talking about. I just want to find.
You'll find a lot
comedy
more
section.
clan housings.
Yeah.
That's sort of outposts. You'll find basically where the main. I'm trying to say like the main epicenters of all the different clans are within that second innermost ring.
And that's not closer to the mines?
No, the outer is like where people live. The clan buildings. It's what it amounts to like, you know, like fucking the Ernst and Young building, right? Is like what is in the second tier. It's a business building.
Okay.
It's not actually where people live. It's like where the clan holdings are. So maybe we're all, you know, without, he's not saying this, I'm gonna let you know just like words wise, it'd be where like all of the money is.
Like banks and stuff.
Yeah, all of the clan's holdings, all of their propriety, yeah, as well as all of their like business goes out of there and into there. So
it's like it's like Wall Street basically.
Yeah.
Okay. But so where are the mines located? Like between
outside of the outer ring, like the mines. he kind of says.
But I'm confused because so ring 4, ring 3, ring 3 is closest to the mines.
Yeah.
So are the mines here?
No, it's outside of ring.
So
No,
why are
yeah,
those
no. So
closest?
ring
People don't really live in
3.
ring 4.
Yeah, ring 4 is for like shops and workshops, so no one lives there.
Oh, okay, thank you. That was my confusion.
I was as well.
Or if
until-
anybody lives there, they live above their shop.
Got it.
So like they live
They
above
don't go
their.
mining.
They don't have to, right? Like that's kind of the idea.
Nah, I'm on the same page.
It's all good. I understand.
Tradesman class.
I was like,
wasn't
people are
tracking.
living
We were
there,
on
I
two
don't
different
understand.
paths, so I wasn't even there. So like, you're good.
You were in
Otherwise, I
Circle-
would have understood.
Circle 7, I got you.
I'm on Circle 9. It's different than Cloud 9. It's just
Much
the opposite.
different.
Considerably.
It's like a
different.
rocket ship, but in the opposite direction.
But like southerly.
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 Which cloud is the really happy dog with 3 heads on?
I don't know.
Cerberus? No.
Good boy.
No, but like the happy version because it's a cloud instead of.
Good
It doesn't matter.
Cloud the-
We'll figure it out.
Right after the river.
Happy
Slobberous.
happy
can't think of a
Cerberus.
Happy
Slobberous.
Slobberous.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's that dog. It's the
Dripping.
Just the
innermost
dirty
ring.
idea.
God, we are so distracted. The innermost ring, he says, is well, that's sort of where I guess you could call that government.
Is this a democratic society or like this?
No, it's not. But he's like, yeah, it's more of an oligarchy.
Is that like an Olive Garden?
Yes, of course.
Unlimited breadsticks.
Yeah.
In this
It's like,
entire country.
it's like that's where all the people who make decisions for the city live, or you know,
Is there like a
make choices.
Is there like a ruling house or a king of the dwarves? I should have known this before showing up here. I'm
no
even
king.
drunk.
There hasn't been a king for a long.
Fair enough.
As for who runs the joint, well, that's based on whoever's richest, I guess. But that just makes
Heard.
sense. You got the most money, you should make the most decisions. I don't know what's wrong with that. Let's see. Under that, you're gonna find the low ring. Yeah. It's not really considered part of the 4. It's just one of the others.
Is the innermost ring?
So there's 5?
No, not the innermost. Yeah, there's 5 rings. It's just that there's.
It's like the fifth, 4 plus 1.
Yeah, the 4th is. The 5th is sort of not subterranean, just sort of like under the rest of it. You see buildings from it, like it's still visible by the rest of the city at this highest point. So it's just something that exists under the other rings.
Do they all? Does it kind of go down like in a cone, or is it like
Yeah.
So the middle of the is the 5th one.
The middle is the fourth.
Oh.
Under all of them is the fifth ring.
Oh.
Is that like the slums or like what? Oh,
Okay. Okay. So how does that? So you
that's some Final Fantasy VII shit.
5,
So if we're drawing
4,
this-
3, 2, 1. How do you see that? How did you get there?
There are-
Oh, the caverns between the
Yeah.
pits. Got it.
Yeah. Like it wasn't a 200 feet down into nothingness. It was 200 feet down into the slums.
Okay.
Also, is the fifth ring as like big as, or is it tinier?
Big as.
No,
So
but,
it's
like
it's this goes
It's the size of
all four.
of all four.
So it goes like directly underneath.
Capitalism.
Gotcha.
yeah, I was just drawing it as
Yeah.
if we were like here looking
The
down.
larger,
So that no, because
the
this would be
larger
ring
a
4,
wealth class
3,
you have.
2, 1, and then
The
this ring is like
larger a-
there.
Oh, it's on top of.
No, it's
Got it.
under, but it
underneath.
covers entirely.
Got it.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else we want to ask him, or should we?
Yeah,
look
this
around?
random bartender.
What is your best drink you have?
The meat
The
is
meat's
pretty
pretty good.
good.
He takes out the wine.
Is
Fair.
that what you would make? What would you
It
drink?
is what I make.
Oh, congratulations. How much is it?
Is that sarcastic?
No.
It's just
She's just like
just
that.
like
it's
that.
just the tone of voice. She can't help it. She's legitimately interested in your wine.
I want to purchase a cup.
Alright.
May I?
Grabs a glass and sets it down. Puts a little, whatever the little thing is
The
there.
speed pour?
Yeah.
There's speed
No,
pours
not
in
speed pour.
Reiki?
Not speed pour. He puts the
Aerator.
aerator in the bottle.
There's aerators in Reiki?
Yeah.
This is fine craftsmanship.
They don't even
This
have
is a
air.
big bottle glass.
That's my point. Like, that's the
It's
thing
like a
about
half
why
glass.
aerators-
You were just.
I just was listening to other stuff and it was like,
You're letting that go for
I
a
actually
while.
picture that he puts that like glass that can go on top of the wine bottle and just hands it to you so that you can just drink the whole thing.
But it's like a half glass. It's a fairly sized glass though. It's about that. And
Red wine
slides
is.
it to you. As you, your guys' tankards, by the way, was like metal, like just a nice sort of iron.
Great.
But as he hands you the glass, like, and you touch it, it doesn't feel. It feels like thicker than normal glass.
Same.
I'm gonna use this as time.
Kind of like that, like
Oh.
like that, like that's what I mean. Is like that
This
thickness
thicker
of
glass.
glass, like that's the feeling to it. Like it has
More of a heft than a wine glass.
than a normal than a wine glass that you're used to, and not even that used to, right? But like,
Did
in
you
like,
make this? Glass too.
no, I'm a brewman.
Oh.
No, we
Why?
go.
More
Why
of
is
a
it in this
Mauser
kind of
myself.
glass?
Why is it? It's just the glasses we have.
Oh, it's just fancy. I just thought maybe.
Really?
You know how sometimes like you have to have. Like,
That's fancy. I'm sorry.
I drink out of like wood, so yeah.
Or directly, like, just
From the
face
stream.
to stream.
Yeah.
No, she's not really into
It kind of like so. He's like,
glassware.
Glad you clarified face to
I don't
stream
know.
because in my head I was thinking like face to cow.
I drink straight from the udder.
No.
Like
Also
Luke
not lying.
Skywalker.
Alan, no middleman getting away with my nutrition.
Calcium straight to the
He
face.
said, well, I mean, that's just the kind of glass that we can make here.
What is it? Is it made out of like crystal? What is
Look,
it? You don't know. I
I don't
got
know.
it.
I'm not a glass maker, not a glass blower. I just, what I know is the material out of it, it's, he like slaps the counter. Does this look like stone, you know?
I don't know.
Does
Does
But-
it?
but so, no.
It looks similar, but it's just like, it's got, it seems as though it's smoother than other stone that has been shaped in the same way.
It looks smoother than other stone I've seen.
That's because of how we work it. That glass is the way it is because of the way we work it and the materials used. This land, he's like, here in Reykjavik, we have a bountiful mineral deposit. We have things that you probably have never seen before.
That's true.
It's not to be offensive or whatever, I guess, but
I'm not
Just to
offended.
say, that's probably why it's thicker and more fancy than other glasses you've had.
Now I'm mildly offended, but no, I'm just kidding. Fancy. I will drink it. Is it good?
I will drink it.
I put the thing in my bag.
Go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no.
+3.
I'm drunk.
Are you within 15 feet of her?
Yeah.
Fine.
Oh no, I might actually be. Are you actually?
Yeah.
7.
He's certainly within
7.
Within 7. Okay.
Total?
100%
So,
total.
the taste is exquisite. It is
Never been drunk before. Name
a
it.
finely crafted wine. And you not being a huge connoisseur yourself, right?
Yeah.
You're not a sommelier.
Which one of us are, really?
But it's something where it's just like the few times you have drank wine, it's been sort of simple and just kind of maybe cheaper in the sense of just like
It's
the
yellow.
area the areas you've been around haven't had very fine wine. This is very understated, very subtle in its like flavor profile. It has just kind of this oaky rosewood taste. It is a it's like not a straight red wine where it's like just like the solid dark color. It has this sort of swirling lighter red in it, and it is tasty. It's just it's like a red wine, but it's sweet. It has like there's like this hint of sweet.
Even the wine.
As you sort of like you're like I've drank wine before. I
never
know how
really
to.
been drunk.
It's like I know how to drink it. You drink like half or something, and so you do. And after you just kind of.
Oh no.
And it just kind of hits you like a truck.
Oh no. So glad that there's
You're just like
Did she fall over? or
no,
anything?
it's not like you're not like instantly drunk or something like that, right? But you
I
just
feel
know
it.
that it's like just a flush in the cheek immediately.
Got it.
You have like half a glass left.
Oh, wow, that was really good. I really like it. You're good at your job.
Thank you very much. By the way, that'll be 5 silver.
I can pay you that. I would like to pay you that. Let me pay you it. You deserve it.
I agree.
I'm gonna stop playing the piano and walk over to the bar.
Okay.
Do they have napkins on the bar? Like, I'm assuming yes. But
What kind of napkins?
paper napkins?
No.
Aw. Do they have paper anywhere?
No.
Can I ask him for paper?
Sure. What are you trying to get a napkin for?
I want to draw the symbol that we saw on Terry.
Well, you have
Oh,
calligraphy
I
stuff,
do.
So you should have
Just
this.
kidding. I have painter's tools. What's wrong with me? I have paper.
You've got like a little parchment thing.
I take out my parchment notebook, my handy dandy parchment notebook. Take
Okay.
out the crayon out from the top, flip it over. Not stealing this from anything.
Just
And I draw the symbol, and then I want to ask him, excuse me, do you or maybe somebody here in town might know something about this symbol?
Which symbol is this?
It's the one that we found on Terry that's also, like, in the house and
You
stuff.
show it to him and he's I don't know nothing about that. And, I don't know, you probably want to go over to the what is that, like a sigil?
Yeah.
I heard it. Heard it happen.
I mean like I don't know.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know, just look around for somebody who has knowledge of whatever those could mean. I don't know what to do with you.
Okay.
Not really into magic myself.
No, he's a really good brew guy.
Are you okay?
Yeah, are you okay?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
It's starting to hit you now.
Woo!
I'm just gonna sit.
Do you know
just
where
gonna
the
start-
Rovac family is
Oh. Business you got to do with robots.
So Wally's just like,
I met their emissary back in Faro a while ago. I just thought I would check out the. He gave me this. Hold on, like the.
Yes.
The symbol. I'm just like, he gave me this and said to pay a call if I ever made my way here.
oh, that face doesn't look good.
Oh. Suppose if you got that, you're gonna find him on the second ring. Sorry,
Third.
Yeah, I'm considering the center, the first,
Yeah.
second, third, fourth, fifth.
Okay.
So he's on the like Wall
He's
Street.
on the second ring.
That's why I was backtracking. Third. He's on the third ring.
He's on the fancy people. Okay.
It's like,
Fancy.
if you want to find the family, you can go to the third ring. But if you want to find, it just depends on which one you want to go to. You could try to find the family on the second ring, but if you go to the third, sorry, fuck.
So the family lives on the third ring.
Family lives on the third ring. The business stuff is on the second, and he's basically telling you if you want to go find where they live and you wanted to do it like that, you would go to the third ring. But if you wanted to go, it's like you probably have a better chance of getting in if you go to the second ring because that's the business side. Yeah, he's basically advising you to go to.
I think it makes sense.
It's
instead of showing up at their house.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, that's what he's trying to say. And that was what I was trying to get out, and I was
Really good
confusing
ideas in the
myself.
past is barging on people, so.
Too many rings, too many numbers.
There's probably a different way to say it, but I just can't think of it right now.
Does the Thorgal family have a business on the second ring as well?
No.
Okay.
Their holding is sort of a, I don't know all the politics, but something about some subsidiary or something.
Huh. Well, good to know.
What's subsidiary mean?
I don't know.
That was literally a Bridget question, but
Oh.
I'm glad that you answered it.
Oh, subsidiary.
I can answer. I can ask it in Click Whistle.
Subsidiary means like instead of being the company, they're like a portion of that company, basically. They're like underneath them.
Like how Disney owns Marvel Studios.
Right.
Marvel Studios is a subsidiary of Disney.
I've heard the word before. I've never seen it in context.
It's all good.
Same.
I'm like, I don't know.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Hey,
What is?
there you go.
What are this?
So yeah, that's he kind of advises you to go that. And that's quite a gift.
I had no idea. He didn't say anything about who they were really.
He's an emissary that makes a lot of sense. You don't get very far by bragging about what you do. Just show up and do what you do.
Huh. Well, good to know. Thank you for the info.
Yeah.
So do we go to your friend's house or?
I'm down with whatever. I'm kind of curious to see like what kind of stuff they're making here.
Yeah, I wanted to see if they find a lot of lodestones in their mining operation, that might show in the market.
It seemed like all the smithing stuff was up here.
Yeah, so I wanted to check out the marketplace for that.
I'd like to see if they can do anything with my daggers.
Yeah.
I'm gonna finish my wine.
I'm gonna stay with Namos while
Oh,
she
yeah,
finishes
sure.
her wine to
Oh,
make
yeah,
sure somebody is
I'm not
with
gonna
her.
leave with
He's not leaving
No,
with
we're
anybody
not.
else.
Oh.
He's just like
Bye guys.
It was just the next thing.
I'm just gonna finish my wine.
Got
She
it.
becomes,
I
she
was-
becomes unable to walk for a while or something.
God,
in
I
my
was
case.
like,
Hey.
I am not leaving her alone to drink.
Okay,
by
well, I'll do it
herself.
to like the point where I know it's like, ooh, gotta stop.
So, as you decide to finish your wine,
As
And-
like one of those points where you're like, oh god, this is a lot. Like that's it.
you're definitely feeling like, ooh, one glass is good.
Okay, cool.
Did I get any tips for my fabulous piano playing?
No.
That's okay.
What's wrong with
I-
you? Why would you get a tip?
I did it for the happiness
What
of
are
the
you, an
bar.
artist?
Yeah. I mean, I
How
do it
dare
for the
you.
I do it for the exposure.
Yeah. Gross. And as you guys are kind of winding down to this bar and deciding what your next moves are, we're going to go ahead and take a break. Welcome back, everyone.
Hi.
At this moment, I'm sure you noticed, but we lost Jackie, but just for the second half, she'll
Failed
be
her
here.
death saves.
She just has such a long trip home, and she's got some stuff to do tomorrow that she has
She's
to
got
skip out.
such a terrible cold.
Yeah, that too.
Terrible cold.
So I suppose we can let her go. I guess.
Just this once.
But coming back right into it, you guys are stepping out of the bar. Nameless, you are very clearly good. Very clearly, like, everything takes a little bit more care as you step.
Okay.
I always forget about Panther having to go into these establishments with you, and then it's already done.
It's totally normal.
You know what I imagine
Such a
more,
good boy.
and I just kind of want to put this as a blanket statement, is that most of these establishments are just looking at you guys as a group, seeing the Panther, and it's like, that's not the weirdest thing. It's
what
like,
I was thinking,
out of
yeah.
the collection of this, that's kind of
Honestly, that's the most normal of, like,
Probably.
snake lady, literal bird person.
Yeah, like I mean, because you're another plane.
Another plane of existence.
Like, how many bird people are there on
They-
this plane?
well, like-
You haven't seen one
The
yet.
whole
Right.
point is that they don't last long because people kill us for monsters. Like, they're just like, there's a bird in the woods, and like everyone comes and kills us.
It's the right behind you. You have to turn very quickly to see it. And if you catch it, you better not let it go.
So, where to after you exit the bar?
Oh, well, we want to check out the Smitties and stuff up here.
Yeah, you always have a place you want to head, but
Say
while we're
cool
here,
ass
Did you say
weapons.
Smithies or Smitties?
Smitty.
Smitty!
Schmitty!
All right, yeah. But before we do that, I would love to check out. So the sales people.
Stores?
Oh, there's no water here.
I keep stealing your accent every single time you talk. I
That's
steal
fine.
your accent.
You don't even
I'm
have
like,
to steal it. I'll
stars?
give it to you.
Um,
Give it to you for free.
What,
These stores?
I suppose what I'd say is what you do know is that just to forego any needless searching,
Right.
you wouldn't go to a smithy
No.
to find material.
No, yeah. So that's the thing. You know what I'm looking for. Y'all don't. I figured I was specifically looking for. I'm looking not for like a smith or a store specifically, but a supplier for smiths. I'm looking for materials. So I'm going to try and find a place that has like raw materials for me to use. I'm looking for like smith grade copper currently.
Could you not ask a smithy? Like where they get their shit?
Yes, but that'd be like going to a baker and asking them where they get their flour. They're like, just buy bread. I make bread.
I mean,
You know?
that is also fair, but we are in the market for some weaponry. So if we go
That's
to
fair.
a smithy, we buy some weaponry, we'd be like, oh, this is very fine material.
That's fair. If we can make that stuff first, we can make that stuff first and see if it'll lead to what I'm looking for. I'm down with that. If we want to stop and look for weapons first.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
trying
just,
How are we all doing on money? Because I'm okay, but not great.
I have 4
Um,
gold and
What
that
the
is
term
it.
would be.
That's the thing. So I'm worried. Like I'm hoping I can get the materials I need for my money. I'm worried if we're looking for weapons, we're going to be
Shit out of luck.
in terms
They're
of
pretty
fun. We're not very
Right?
fungible.
Like,
Yeah, but we're not very. We don't.
in my head,
We're
what
a
I'm
little more
thinking is it would just be
liquid.
one of the
But
mining
maybe we
companies,
can
but,
do
like,
a
on top of
task.
that, I'm wondering if there is
That's fair, trading
Nice
favors.
to do a
Trading
task.
ore
I
and
would
stuff?
love to do a task.
not the ore, because I
Fair
would
enough.
imagine they'd get the ore from the mining company. That's what I mean. It's like I know that they would get ore from a mining company, but then the
What
ore
about
has to go to
what
like a
materials-
smelter or something.
What
Yeah,
materials are you talking
smelter
about?
is what I'm
So the
looking for.
processed materials.
Yeah,
Yes.
the processed materials.
Yeah, I'm looking for a processor, like
Right?
specifically,
Is that
like someone
is that
who
a metallurgist
processed
or
ores.
something? I'm trying to remember.
Like
That's
a
what I'm trying to
smithy?
remember is like the term for that.
A smelter.
Yeah, they'd be smelting it.
it would be smelter.
Smelter? Oh, man, she better.
Do you think that they
take care of
dealt it
that.
as well?
Yeah.
Smelter, I heard
Hi,
a rumor.
this is my smelter, and this is my delter.
And I'm
So we're gonna look for.
So anyway.
Just like what kind of weapons and armor they're making around here. If we see, are they smelting down the ore and stuff here as well? Is that happening in the mines? Like what's going on?
Yeah, that's. And you know what I would say is that as you kind of you're having to walk around the ring. Like that's one of the things is that like you certainly can ask some of the people around you, but from the looks of it, you can kind of guess that like you're gonna have to kind of walk the circumference and find what you want to find. if somebody wants to roll a persuasion check to help speed up that process.
Who's got the highest persuasion?
I'm gonna ask one of the gnomes.
Sure.
Yeah.
He certainly has the highest persuasion out of all of you.
Yeah.
I have persuasion, and I'm gonna speak to him.
Instead of my D&D
I'm gonna speak to him in his native tongue.
and a sword.
Right.
And I was just like,
Yes.
Native tonguing.
that's a +9 to sword.
To sword heaven.
Native
Please roll.
Tonguing? Oh god.
Hey. A 19, but I gotta check my my stats.
I'm pretty sure you have persuasion as a
I'm proficient, so it's gonna be
plus 3 plus 3.
Yeah, so
So
it's gonna be
6.
25.
25. Wow.
Hot
Jesus.
diggity damn.
Yeah, one of the gnomes is like.
I
That's
just
exactly right.
come up to him talking in his native tongue.
Oh, hello.
Oh god. We've got the simple one.
Hi, how are you doing this fine day?
You're trying to match his energy, or?
This is just how gnomes talk, man.
Yeah.
Everyone's just real excited.
The gnomes speak.
Everything gets emphasized all the time.
It is a very fun language.
Every word is emphasized. Well, that makes sense.
The desert spaghetti.
Fratafolo.
Fratafolo. Fricadeli Fratafolo.
I'm a Philip Fratafolo.
I
We're
knew,
looking for the weapons.
I knew that we would
You know,
shoehorn an Italian accent
I'm
somewhere in
super
here.
cool with that being the gnome.
The gnomes are just the Italians.
Yeah.
Doesn't Philip doesn't sound that way when he's speaking common, but when he speaks gnomish, that is how it sounds.
It's like if she was speaking Eric Cochran.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
I speak Eric Cochran, I talk like this. But like, if I speak common, it
If I
sounds like
speak
this.
Eric Cochran, I talk like this.
So
I don't know how
he
to talk.
tells you. So you're asking him where you can find
just
better
asking, like-
smithies or things like that, like some finer weaponware.
I'm asking, yeah, like, who would you say makes the finest tools in this town, or the finest weapons and armor? Perhaps somebody who maybe whose work may not look as glamorous as others, but is actually more effective. Just people don't talk about it as much. Who would you say is the
That's
most?
an interesting question.
Who would you say is the most underappreciated Smitty in the town?
Underappreciated.
this-
Nobody's
this-
underappreciated in the ring.
This interaction is also reminding me of a scene from A Knight's Tale. And I just wanted to put that out
No one's underappreciated. No. I think I'm just turning into
Mario?
Luigi.
No. What?
there. Way more Luigi than Mario.
Yeah,
if it's
true.
either.
No, I was thinking of what's the Phineas and Ferb villain?
Doofenshmirtz?
I feel like I was turning into Doofenshmirtz.
Harry, nobody here is
Nobody is
underappreciated.
No, of course not.
The tri-state area.
We gotta move on because I love this, but I gotta. He tells you about he says that no one is underappreciated. It is more so that I don't know how to answer the question because here in Ulmkar, there's everyone here is appreciated for the hard work, and I suppose if you want to go down to the 5th ring, you could. You probably find somebody there who is maybe not as appreciated as you are here.
I do plan to go down to the 5th ring at some point, but
Jesus Christ.
now I'm just doing like the card.
Not
No,
Shatner.
Shatner. Now
Shatner,
I'm just like doing
yeah.
Shatner.
There's someone on the way.
But if you want somebody who is going to give you a good weaponry, who is potentially the best in the business, you should go to the Rovak store.
To the Rovaks.
The Rovak family store. Yes, it's one of the largest establishments on the ring.
Do they have one up here, or I heard
Oh,
they're
it's
on the
only
second
on
floor?
Where
The second ring.
their businesses are on the
Business
second
office.
ring. Yes.
Oh yes, but where?
Their financial holdings and stuff like like the business.
So their wares are sold out here on the 4th ring.
He's a beautiful man. You're a beautiful, big man.
Well,
How do you learn to speak Gnomish so well?
well, I grew up speaking with my father. My father's one of the kindest gnomes I ever knew.
Oh, your father is
He made sure I learned that.
it's like your father is a gnome.
Oh, he certainly is. Frankenelli Fraterfuller, one of the greatest gnomes in Jortenia.
Fraterfuller! Ah. So, you getting into the family business?
Well, I may come back to help with it someday. For now, I'm sort of traveling to help spread the word. You know?
You're trying to drum up the business, eh?
Exactly.
I
Taking me to places nobody's ever heard of it before.
Ooh! That is a good marketing.
It's always nice to see people as enthusiastic as you are.
Oh, believe me, I have many a day spent in a Frankenelli Fraterfuller establishment.
Oh, well, that's great to know. What's your name?
That's always the killer question.
Well, no. We're not supposed to say the names.
Oh, right. Confidentiality. Believe me, you're
It's a good boy. That's
Yeah,
a
you're-
good boy.
believe me, I'm not here to tell your sins to anyone else or
What's
make
your
them
church
public.
name?
or anything.
Yes.
He does look a little
What
at
do
the,
you know
at the
as by
sins part. He's
confession?
like, wait, but
That's my phrasing.
he's like, yeah, sure,
Yeah, but
whatever.
not wrong.
yeah, sins. Yeah, we're keeping it secret. We're keeping it safe.
Yeah. We're keeping it churchly.
I did say Frankenelli. I didn't mean to say his first. He was really only saying the Fraterfuller. The Fraterfuller.
Yeah, Fraterfuller.
Not
Yeah.
Frankenelli specific.
So there's a whole chain. My family. Apparently, everybody in my family, my uncles run some businesses too. Apparently. All right.
Maybe in town. Maybe we can meet some cousins.
Oh, that'll be fun.
We are around the gnomes now. Oh my god.
You think they know? Do you think they'll walk in and be like,
Anyone else?
Philip,
Okay.
like, did Frankenelli write home? I'd be like, y'all, we found out.
A big
Phillip.
old gnome. We found a Phillip.
So
We found a
so do you have any
Philip.
other
Wait
questions?
for business.
Gnome.
He says the Rovac. He says that they have their it's like from the sounds of it, it is a very large. It's like a Costco sized like warehouse. that these
Brothel with a
people-
capital B.
We
Yeah.
buy you daggers in bulk.
Yes.
I just have 55 daggers. Just
No,
all
I'm
over
saying
me.
the daggers are like so.
They're
They're
swords.
getting
They're just
swole.
swords.
Those swole daggers. I'm sorry. Like, I don't want to be disrespectful, but that dagger is thick.
That's two
Dagger
sleeves.
looking thick.
Oh, I'm sorry, Click Whistle. I tried to sneak past the guards, but my blades are demi-thick.
But my
Clapping together.
but I'm dummy thick, and the stones on my pommel keep clapping together.
The lodestones on my palm will just keep.
Keep expelling their charges.
Oh my god.
Yes.
So
This is the content that needs to happen. Clip, 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 clip,
I
clip.
perfect.
Don't worry, I know when it happened.
We all know.
142.15.
So, yeah. So the Rovacs. So the Fraterfullers have a reputation all the way up here, huh?
Oh, the Fraterfullers certainly have a reputation.
Do you know of any Fraterfullers around here in Reykjavik?
Oh, certainly, yes. Sir.
Well, it'd be great to visit some of the family.
I believe that on the... He kind of like points to the opposite side of the rings. He's like, you could probably find them on the opposite side. That's the eastern entrance into Ulungar. A lot of more hotels out that way.
Yeah.
Oh well. I think we may already have our lodgings covered, but it can't hurt to check it out.
Oh, bless your heart.
Well, sometimes it can hurt, but I suppose that's what the point is.
Well,
He
if
like,
there is,
he like nudges you again. He's like,
well, if there is any pain to be found, I'm quite adept at protecting us from it.
okay.
Not your thing. All right.
There's a disconnect every now and then.
Not your
some
specific
things don't add up.
kink.
Yeah.
But anything else you actually want to ask this guy?
No, I think that's good.
Okay.
So,
I'm gonna go on my way.
Excellent.
Oh, this is the
If you see
He
the,
just scoots a
Yeah.
meatball down the road,
If you
like,
see the-
with his nose.
like a dung beetle.
Yeah.
if you see the Fratafellers, tell them Philip and Frickinelli send their regards.
I haven't visited that establishment in a number of years.
Oh well,
Since last
I'm a
night.
married man. I don't need to go anymore. If you catch out of my meeting.
well. I have heard there's nothing better to keep you honest than a good woman.
Certainly.
I can
Well,
hear
have a safe trip.
Catches meaning.
Arrivederci.
Enjoy your time in Ulinkar.
Oh, I already am.
And he walks by.
Well,
Chipper. He
how's
seems
that?
like you. It seems like you just like uplifted his day.
That's good, I guess.
Yeah.
What did we
Do
learn?
you
Where
say?
are we heading?
Yeah, what's going on?
So
He was so sick.
these guys
I was just-
apparently
what is my
run one of the
accent?
best weapon
What is
or
my
smithy
accent? Third day.
stores in the ring.
So you're giving us an in that we might be able to find
Well,
out
no,
about.
they sell weapons. The ends are on the other side of the ring.
Right. But you let's go.
Yes to both. Yes to both things.
Also, I apparently have some family here.
No way.
Delightful.
There are some Fratterfellers on the other side of the ring.
What do they do?
Well, I assume it sounds like they're all in the same line of work as my father, so it must mean there's a Church of Arwai somewhere around here.
Right.
Oh.
Right. I don't think.
None of you have any real sense of what the church is.
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
okay.
Yeah,
I
we
thought-
don't.
I thought I figured
You
it
guys,
out.
you guys have
we
like
don't.
no.
We don't
You just-
know.
You don't know any specific thing about anything on the church.
Like, it seems
outside of,
odd
like, what he
sometimes when he
said.
talks about it, but
Yeah.
like.
He talks about it often, just like about how people were helped, and it's a lot of.
Uplifted.
Oh
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was certainly some uplifting.
Standing at attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I'm 2 years old.
where to?
Well, I guess we can look for the Rovac store.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
Come
right?
down.
Like
Yeah.
weapons first, and then we'll go touch
Yeah.
base with the
It
fam.
seems like that's the part that we're close to, so yeah.
Definitely.
Because we're working
It's kind of
our
one of
way
those.
around,
Yeah, it's kind of like a. You would hit the Rovac store first. It would
Yeah,
take
find me some
it would take a
Rovacs.
bit longer to get to the other side. It's not. It's like the store is actually pretty close to you right now.
Hell yeah.
Thanks.
Heck yes. Let's do it.
Golly gee.
Moving through the street. It's like a wide ring too. It's one of those things where it's like it is about 125 feet across. Just as a thoroughfare kind of a thing. And as you look towards each ring, they get a little bit wider. Like each one that they go down. So there's like more like like each ring gets a little bit wider, so they have more room for stuff, like for the buildings and everything. And so these things kind of like it seems like they built it into the walls of the cavern. So it's like some of these buildings only jut out a little bit, but you can tell that they go for. And that's kind of why these shops were put on. That's the assumption anyway that you can make is that on this outer ring the shops are here because they have more room to just kind of like place stuff, whereas this stuff needs to be more centralized and guarded. Again, like I said, the Rovac store front, which is essentially none of you read Dwarvish, but it is listed
Not
in
even a little.
common, like to the side, is that it's basically just called the Rovac holding. And so it's just one of those things where it doesn't have a store name. It is just like, this is their stuff.
Rovacs.
Yeah. And you kind of like walking through, that's a lot of what like the other stores, anything that's not like a pub, an inn, or a specific,
Tradesman.
not even trade, like that's what I'm trying to say. Like anything that's not like a pub, an inn, or a tavern, like that kind of thing, doesn't have a name. It just is like
It's just the holding.
clan, this clan, like it, or there'll be a clan name after somebody else's name. So it's like it seems like can be multiple storefronts of the same clan, but they're like different proprietors of those establishments, kind of a thing. So it's like the way it's all structured is it seems like there's kind of again, it's all accumulated into maybe you don't know how many clans there are in the city, but it seems like everything kind of operates in that function. It's like you see a couple of names a few times. You see. Sorry, I have them written down. Why would I try to remember them? You do see Duskborns. You see Hellpikes, and you see sorry. I can't see it. Sorry. There are a few names that just kind of get repeated.
Can I So there's a lot of Hellpikes?
No,
or there's just
maybe
one
like 2 or 3. That's what I mean. It's like you see a repetition of like 2 or 3 of them.
Can I poke in at a Hellpike as we go by?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
At the 2 or 3 of them, they all kind of seem to be armories. They all kind of delve into. All 3 of them sort of specialize, though. They're smaller shops, and like one of them seems to be primarily dealing with helms, and there's a couple of different things. Like some of them seem more battle oriented, but a good chunk of them actually seem more like utility oriented. Like there's a helmet with a fastened sort of oddly circular sort of like glass. It looks like a light. It's like
It's like a miner's helmet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there's a couple other things like that where it's just like it seems like there's safety equipment and stuff. Another one is more like bucklers and shields and things like that kind of like specialize in. You can kind of see them like rewarping metal or like reworking some shields and then setting them to the side, like almost not like a junk bin, but like as they were working on them, you can kind of tell like maybe these things are repurposed. So this one has like we make some shields, but we you see a bunch of people like kind of coming in and giving them older shields that they're kind of like reworking and seeming to repurpose into other stuff. So it seems like the Hellpikes, as you kind of move through their 3 shops, it's like they're dealing mostly with armor, but they're also dealing with basic function of the city or potentially the mining. That's kind of the best you can do without really talking to anyone, is that like you can kind of surmise maybe that's what they're doing.
Okay.
You make it to the Rovak family, the Rovak holding, and again, it is massive. It takes up pretty much an entire city block. It's 4 stories tall, from what you can tell, and the main 2 doors like go up for the entire first story, and they are thick. Potentially, you're not entirely sure what kind of metal. Like as you get closer, you can kind of tell it's steel, but like they are. For the rest of you, it's just these giant, thick metal doors that are open at the moment, but they're also like huge. And like as you pass them, sitting at the where like the handles would be, is this like you're kind of passing the like 3 foot thick part of the door. Like I'm like like that part of it. Inside you can see tumblers and you can see various different locking mechanisms that are just as if you took a lock for a door and blew it up like 200%.
This is a fortress, basically, is what we're walking into.
Click whistles into it.
Yeah. As you walk by as well, can I get perception checks from anybody?
What sense?
Sight.
Bom, 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 bom.
Ooh! Oh!
Ba-ba-ba.
It's the same either way.
Yay!
Huzzah.
2 20s?
No. 2 critical failures.
Sorry!
Really?
We gotta switch your luck somehow. 2 quick fails?
Oh, that's so good. Nameless?
18 and 8.
13.
6.
All right.
18 is me.
Yeah,
It's Chelsea. Not
Yeah,
our.
I
You
don't-
usually
I don't
go
know
first
shit.
when you say
Yeah.
those things, so I figured. You're the only one who picks up on this,
That's
and
hilarious.
you are specifically like, fascinated by these tumblers that you just like don't even notice this thing. On the outside, around the actual outer-faced locking mechanism, you see a bunch of like engraved runes around the like portions of the lock.
Guys, there's things on the locks.
Can you read them?
They are in Dwarven.
I
I don't want to say that, but like I'm just
they
basically
look
saying
like
like,
squiggly
they are a
marks.
language you cannot read.
Do Dwarven and Gnomish have a similar root?
They do, but you cannot make it out.
Guess
Okay.
me?
It's one of those things where it's like it is like how like Spanish and Portuguese are of a similar branch, but they are different languages, and it's like it's not really a one-to-one relation.
Right.
Where like you see a symbol and it's like, oh, that's what it means in Gnomish. It could mean something completely different in Dwarven.
Okay.
And there's squiggly lines.
It's a good note to take though.
Thanks.
Moving through, it is just like these factory line length of like shelves of various types of materials and weaponry, and you see armory, and you basically, it's almost as if every part of this floor is its own shop, just with no walls around it.
Is it like a Sam's Club sort of thing?
Yeah.
Do they have samples?
Sam's Club.
What?
Here's
Not
a
a
knife
Sam's
sample.
Club.
Here's a knife
This is
sample.
not a real. This is a Costco.
What?
Yeah, a knife
I don't
sample
know.
is just a bloodletting.
No, I'm saying like
That's
it
not a
doesn't
knife
have to be
sample,
like
it
a.
would be like a
I would love a sample of popcorn chicken. Like,
I would too.
do they have one?
Well, I'm saying you
Can
I
I-
mean, this is me as Bridget.
Okay.
Can I smell if
This
there's
was more like popcorn shrimp,
Yeah, sure.
but
Is that-
like Bridget would love
Oh, I thought there was really food here.
no, there's no food here.
Do you want me to go get popcorn chicken?
That does sound good.
But you do see various types of materials. You do see things that are like, you see them selling some ore, you see them selling some weaponry, you see them selling armory, you see them selling like equipment, and then there's a stairway in the back.
So,
Hundreds of dwarves, hundreds of gnomes walking through. There's also just like a lot of like tools. There seems to be like, that's what a bulk of the back half of the entirety of this floor is just mining equipment.
I would like to look at their dagger and arrow selection.
I want to look at their picks.
Kegs?
Picks.
Oh.
I'm looking at the kegs. No, I'm just kidding. I'll go to the oars. I'll see what they got.
Sure. Anything you want to do?
No.
I'm just asking.
No.
I'm just making
I
sure.
don't know what I would do though.
Just
Because if
stand
everyone
in
just
the doorway.
if everyone just leaves me, I guess I just stand there.
If there's
Like, I'll be
nothing
here, guys. You
specific
can
that you
find
want
me.
to do, then that's fine. I just wanted to make sure that you had an opportunity to say so. So Lolly stays with you. Then we'll go ahead and do you guys first.
So we're looking at similar areas.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're looking for like
Weaponry-ish.
a war pick, you're going to be in this area. But if you're looking for like a mining pick, that would
War
be
pick.
different. Yeah.
I figure I can just use this to mine, like whatever.
No, you can. I'm just
Yeah.
meaning that it's like there's a different type of crafting for it. A war pick is certainly thinner, not in a brittle way, but just sort of just like they
It's meant to pierce.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was meant to
Flesh
sunder
as
armor.
opposed to rock.
Correct. One guy walks up. He's wearing a lanyard and a no.
He's wearing an apron?
Yeah, he's wearing an apron. How may I help you today? No.
He's carrying an
There just
iPad.
seems
Oh,
to
Tarvish!
Tarvish, what the hell?
Me.
Tarvish, are you picking up extra hours at this place in Regia?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Old Tarvish is my favorite.
So again, like none of these things are exactly, but there's no like walls or anything like separating these things. And as you kind of come towards the displays of these things, they're all kind of like in a glass case. They're all separated in a fashion to be positioned in a way that like they're protected. You can't just like walk up and walk out with it or whatever. But
it's like the condom things that Dwayne Reed when you like lift the thing and it makes a siren noise.
Yeah, sure.
But for war picks.
but for weapons.
But for weapons.
So there's a good portion of this stuff that is just it's just there. It's just normally built, but they're all placed on like velvet like cloth, like
pretty
pillowed kind of a thing where it's like you have to like pull out a drawer and there's a row of 6 knives or 6 daggers, right? And there's like 8 rows of that, like 8 drawers of like just these daggers.
Interesting.
The picks themselves are set on like a hanging, where like the head and the head of the pick is like sitting on top of that. They have like rows of 4. A lot of the stuff though, as you're looking through it, it's well crafted. You can tell it's what amounts to a factory line of equipment.
It ain't special.
It all looks the same. It all looks very well taken care of and like made, but it is one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, this is like a mold of a thing. Doesn't seem like it's very specific.
I am not super impressed with the daggers. How do you feel about the war picks?
Well, how does it look compared to mine? Does it look...
It looks new. Whereas yours is kind of
it's
beaten up and maybe a little worse for wear, but these look well taken care of. Again, they're well crafted. They don't seem to be made out of any more special material than yours. There is somebody around there that you could ask questions to. I'm just not making them introduce themselves.
I think we could do. But I mean, you have like the special little like doohickey, so.
Sure, I wonder if they do anything.
Discounts?
If they do,
Maybe custom. I would love to like upgrade the shit that I have, but like this is just factory line shit. Like this is not like, this is a mold.
Yeah. They got shields too?
Yes.
Just like a row of shields. What do they got in terms of shield like variety?
Kite, circular, buckler. There is a tower shield or 2. There's like 2 tower shields that they have listed there.
Those will be a good shield for you. You are large, and that will cover much of your body.
It's a trade-off.
It really is.
Yeah. So think about it.
I mean,
Bucklers, though.
bucklers are interesting.
I don't need one.
What's a buckler?
Straps to your wrist.
A buckler is
It's
a
just
small.
a small sword.
It's a
shield.
small shield that basically like covers here. So like it doesn't block as much as like other shields, but it also like gets in your way a lot less than other shields.
Also, in fencing, it was a people would have the rapier, but then they would also have the buckler was like a disc. So they would hold the disc, and so it would be able to. It would block the
They would
blade
use it to,
from
like-
yeah.
yeah.
they would-
Yeah.
Or you would use it to try and like
blade.
angle where their blade was to give yourself an opening.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And so you would,
I mean, I have no use for it, but
Well, that's fair. It's exciting to see some shield variety.
it's very exciting.
again, there's somebody there if you have any of these questions. If you want to
Yeah.
ask any questions, too.
Sure. Yeah. Can I speak to one of the representatives?
Sure.
Here for assistance.
He shouts into the
One
phone.
of the dwarves with like just jet black hair is like pulled back into a ponytail.
How
What?
dare he have jet black hair?
Yeah, I don't know what I don't
Same.
get it. But
Just the fact that you're getting specific about describing it is just like, this is gonna be a personality.
okay. You walk up to a dwarf.
He is Dwarfman.
You walk up to a dwarf. He has no emotion on his face.
He is
And
there.
no hair.
He says,
He works in customer service. He
"Yeah,
should
yeah."
know.
I was about to say, he's like, "How can I help you?"
He's beaten
he
down.
said, but he kind of looks at you.
So do you do any sort of special order things around here as well, or is the whole is what we see here the stock really?
What you see here is what we have on the first floor.
There's
There is more upstairs. If you go upstairs, that is where we have more specific things.
And do you, out of curiosity, do you do customizations or adjustments to existing equipment that we might bring in?
For a cost, we could do something like that.
Excellent. All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think I'll check out the rest of it. You've been very helpful.
Let's go upstairs. I know.
Let's go upstairs.
Jesus Christ.
She says before we walk away.
I know.
Hell, crap with the guy.
Holy shit. Like, I mean,
Uh,
I
you
miss
guys
the
go upstairs.
Italian gnome.
As you guys go upstairs, it is a similar feel to this room, but you do start to see more. There's less equipment. There's less like tools being made. The front half of the room, but not where the stairs are. Like as you're looking at what would be the front half, like by the stone, like by the big doors, one floor up, is like minecart town. Like it's just minecart town. They just
It's like B&H.
yeah. They sit there and then they're like there's a bunch of stuff like working on the wheels, working on like you can tell that they're crafting all the time. It's one of those things where they seem to be there's a lot of them that it's just like, oh, that doesn't even seem like they don't seem like they're being purchased. It seems like it is
It's
a
a
factory.
fixer.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like one of those things where like they're just working on them. But the back half has a few more things of equipment, and as you kind of peruse through them, it has a few items that have like gemstones in them, things that have like there's like a gold pickaxe. There's a few other items that are like that, like they have like potentially special materials made of them, but you may have to ask to figure that out. So as you ask the clerk, what is there anything? What could you be more specific about, like what you might want to find?
I mean, ideally, I would. Sorry, do you want me to ask this Bridget or is it
Either way.
Crystal?
Either way.
Ideally, I would really, really love a dagger that when you throw it out, it can stab something and then come back to you.
We don't got nothing like that.
Is fair point. But is your dagger selection, like, do you have one that is like, maybe cold or maybe like heat or maybe it is a dagger that make people go to sleep or something like special dagger.
Sleep.
Sleep forever. No,
Wow, he's been asleep for a while.
he's been asleep for about 6 to 8 months.
That's how you get Philip like, no, this dagger only makes them go to sleep.
I put to sleep.
And Philip, oh.
For the next 10
Having
to
trouble
15 to 20
sleeping
to
tonight.
150 years. Like,
Man, a lot of people pay you to put people to bed.
I'm very
You should work for the
comforting.
church.
They should call you the Sandbird.
I'm
Like
the
Sandman.
Sandbird.
Andy Sandbird.
You know,
Oh my
Sandman.
god. Actually, sand would not be a bad thing for me. It would be nice to throw into people's eyes. Anywho, there. Pocket sand.
So,
Pocket glitter.
if you're looking for anything that does anything like that,
Like a specific dagger.
I'm gonna
Or if they can add specificity to my other daggers.
he kind of like reaches behind the counter he's at and sets this thing down. It has 4 daggers in front of him. Says, "Well, this one will certainly do shield to your opponent." And you see it, and it's this steel dagger that is sort of permafrost over the blade. It just kind of has this thin layer of almost like a morning dew. And he goes, "This one will certainly make." Yeah, they have a really weird lake.
Yeah.
It's the mushrooms, you know? It just really makes everybody a
Weird
little
atmosphere.
gurgly.
Yeah.
He's like, he holds up like this copper blade, and he's like, "If you were to hurt someone with this one, it will certainly burn them good." And he holds up the one in the middle, and he says, "And this one," like holds it gingerly. He's like, "It is a little precarious,
Please tell me it explodes.
but if you," he like turns it to the side. He's like, "If you press this button within to be safe 3 seconds, it can yeah, it explodes."
Okay, cool.
It is a sort of a one-time use.
Oh, I mean, you know, once a dagger explodes, it is done forever, I suppose.
And this one is just well crafted. It is made of silver.
Interesting. I have. Can I lay out my daggers? Like I have my 2.
You have 2 normal ones, and then you have your silver one.
Well, I have my like curvy Aarakocra
Yeah,
runs.
yeah.
My curvy Aarakocra runs and my 1 silver one. Is there any way that I can make these better? Do you guys do custom? Is basically what I am asking.
No, we can't make those better. Not like these.
Okay, is
That
there?
has to be during the crafting. That has to be doing when we put the metal in the thing. I don't know what the word is in common.
Mold?
No, why would we put it in mold? That is bad for you.
No, like a mold with a U. M-O-U-L-D. Like a mold for a
That makes no sense.
dagger. Never mind. You know what? Never mind.
Common is the worst language ever.
I mean, honestly, coming from Aarakocra, I have to agree with you, my friend. But, okay, so you do not do custom work. How much is your dagger of a burning or your dagger of chilling?
Let me consult the
Let me
player's
consult
guide.
my. He like pulls out this like. He pulls out this.
A ledger.
Yeah. Well, no, I was thinking like the oh, what's the Sky Mall magazine thing?
Just a big ass like.
Yeah.
Back here,
It
you
has
can
a
find
neck pillow,
recreations of
another
props
neck
of Lord
pillow.
of the Rings.
Right.
You can buy your own Harry Potter wand.
Neck pillow.
Whenever
neck
anybody in
pillow.
fiction
Harry
has to
Potter
read-
wand?
Yeah.
Whenever anybody in fiction has to like look for information in like a thing full of a lot of information, I just think of the scene from Airbud where they have to pull out the like high school basketball rule book,
Right.
and it's like literally like 2
Through.
feet tall and go through like every page.
For dog.
Doesn't
For
say
dog.
dog.
Doesn't explicitly
Whoa.
say dogs
Whoa,
can't
whoa.
play.
Which is also just like, oh, okay. That's enough of a reason.
Yeah.
That's enough of a reason to say
Says
like,
dogs
That's all
can't
we
play,
got?
so I guess we'll allow this.
Yeah.
Doesn't say
so-
dogs can't.
So we found out there's a lot of rules from back in the 40s that we really had to strike out here.
We
Honestly.
really need to do a better job.
Yeah, we haven't looked at this rulebook in a very long time.
We should rewrite this rule book. There are some choice and nasty words in there.
All right, what's the
I
sitch?
rewrote the whole thing. You
Before
you
I-
just added a no dog rule. Yep, now it's perfect.
It's like, I did it. I saved basketball.
My work here is done. But you didn't do anything.
You made it
He
worse.
drives off really like.
A good day.
He says, for either of them, it would be 300 gold each.
That's so good to know. That's such a good thing to know. I'm going to
Slowly back away from the counter and disappear into the crowd.
She's gonna Homer Simpson her way.
I will stealth check. For
I will
this.
now
Like,
hide
you're-
in my own
Are you
pants.
legit trying to?
I'm legit gonna disappear. Like
You're vanishing, and
Okay.
it's a wide open
into
area.
a crowd.
No.
Oh, there aren't like 150.
No. There are a bunch of people here. I'm asking you were serious.
I'm dead serious.
All
I'm
right,
gonna
give
disappear
me a
into
stealth
the
check.
crowd. I'm gonna Homer Simpson this shit.
Give me a stealth check.
Alright, great.
He like as you
Your
leave,
worst
he goes.
skill.
My
Okay.
absolute worst skill. I'm just gonna
You
be
get a
like,
plus 11. So.
I know. So that's a 19.
Okay.
Badly, I disappeared into the crowd.
I didn't say badly.
Okay.
Yeah, your friend is gone.
Poof.
And he goes, I suppose they did not want. You want?
I want to look around at everything else here. I'm more interested in shields and war picks, more than daggers.
The shield is not something we specialize with.
It's
We
understandable.
don't do more than basic stuff with shields.
It's understandable.
It is, but with war pick we have.
He's like displaying 3 of them.
Okay.
Says, this one, it will when you hit it on something, it will. If it is of material that is regular stone, metal, wood, thing, it will break much easier. You notice the color
Are
of it.
you,
It
is
seems
he,
like
does it seem like he's struggling with speaking in common? Is
Yeah.
that what it's all? I'm just gonna switch over to Gnomish. Just be like, we can talk this way if.
Oh,
if
thank you
want.
very much.
I was gonna
No problem.
No, he's like, oh, that would be very helpful. Thank you. I understand this much better. It is, as you can tell, much more my speed.
I figured.
So this weapon is made out of adamantine. It is a strong weapon that makes sure that whenever you strike true and you strike hard. It is mostly what we decide to use in our own factory, if you understand. Give me an insight check.
Please.
So +3 plus your wisdom. 'Cause you have wisdom.
12.
Yeah. You're getting the vague idea that as soon as you switch to Gnomish, he was much more positive with you.
Trusts.
All right.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Like there's just something about like not so much familiarity, but just sort of like cool. I can talk to this now. He's less nervous. He points to the one and says, if you want to grab this one itself has a very interesting enchantment. It is when a user imbues themselves with it, it is also able to we use this one sometimes, or a model much like it, to help when there is cave-in. Because what happens is sometimes people get stuck and we cannot move rock, because if we do that, we'll potentially kill the person underneath. So we made this. This allows us to make, we essentially shift the rock without even having to touch it.
How does that work? Do you have to strike it still, or
No,
you don't strike it. But how does it move?
Well, it sort of just melds back into the stone next to it.
Does that sound very useful? And there's a third one.
there's the third one. And he says, but if you are interested in this one, and it's the gold. It's like, this one. Well, to be honest with you, it's just called a replica.
A replica?
Yes, of Hellpike herself.
Oh, Eliana! That's incredible.
Yes. It is more for show. It is something you could put on mantle, you could put it on your, fireplace to be respectful for the woman who made Ulankar what it is today.
Wow, that's incredible. I think
But because it's such valuable material, we put it up here.
I do think I need to focus on things with a more practical use at the moment. But I do. I love that story. I love hearing about.
So you know it.
Yeah, I know all about her and the demon and the Devil Lord. It's. I made some dwarf friends back on the other.
We're good. We're safe.
Yeah.
Okay. I made some dwarf friends back in Sested and Farah, some other places. I actually met somebody from the Rovak clan, which is why I thought I'd stop by. I go ahead and just show him the sigil. It's like, I met Polarish in a while. He said, come by.
Wow! And he just kind of wraps you in a hug and just sort of yes, good boy! Well, why did you say so first?
Well, I didn't want to impose. I just wanted to see.
It is okay. It is good on you. That is the way to do it. You do it by action. That's very nice of you. I'm certainly not. All I can do is welcome you. With that sigil, you must have done something great for Polarish. I mean, he has been in Farah for quite a number of years.
Yeah, he helped show me around the town for a bit, but he also told me a lot of stories about Rekia and how beautiful the country was. So, ever since I talked to him, I wanted to find my way over here eventually.
Well, that is good that you found your way all the way here.
So
please, I mean, with the sigil, it is something that I must inform you that should you use it at this station right now, I can give you half off of anything here. But if you would rather hold on to it and go down to our business affairs, perhaps they have something more.
Well, I will definitely need to take that into consideration. I do have a few more questions about these two picks, though. So the one that moves the earth without touching it, how often can it do that?
Well, the enchantment is very strong, but it is only so strong. So, as I recall, it can only do it but once per day.
I can move a fairly large amount of earth?
Yes, a fairly large amount. It's, what amounts to a meld stone.
It is melt stone?
Yeah, it's meld stone.
Interesting. And I'm assuming the adamantine is a bonus.
Yeah, it's an adamantine weapon, so it does it does twice as much damage to anything, just like your shield. It's like if you were to use your shield to bash into stuff, it basically does double damage to anything that is like a stone, wood, just like an object.
So better for sundering, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, it's a masterwork weapon, so you'd also get a +1.
Excellent. It's hard to keep in mind. How
to attack and damage. I'm sorry, I didn't know if I made that clear. You'd have +1 to attack and damage.
Right.
Yeah.
How much do these run?
Well, for full cost of either of these items, you are looking at.
Way more than theirs. Yeah. They're larger.
They're larger, beefier. You only use one of them.
Yeah.
Although dual wielding war picks would be interesting.
Very interesting.
For full price of a normal customer, 250 gold for either of them.
Okay.
But for you, I could do half.
I think I'll need to see everything else just to know. I'm still taking in everything around.
Please do. We do not want to.
But I'll keep.
You have a sigil of a Rovak family. We will not ever fool you. I want you to make best choice for yourself, but I want you to know what I have right here for you.
All right, well, I appreciate it. You've been a great help.
Quick whistle on stealth.
How's it go?
I was about to ask you, were you trying to do anything else during that stealth?
No, I was just like, I was literally like trying to figure out if he was like a legit, like,
Okay.
if the prices were good.
Okay.
So like when he was like, "Wow, the sigil," I was like, "All right, great. No, he's fine." Yeah.
He's wonderful. What's your name, by the way?
My name is Dragon.
It's a very powerful name.
It's very good name.
Yeah, sometimes we do what we can.
And I'm his brother, Dungeon.
We're also cops.
But mine is spelled with 2 G's and then you at the end.
Dungeonzu.
Oh.
Well, I'm Philip, and I'm gonna look through the rest of the story thing and just see everything else that's here. It's wonderful work that you guys do.
I appreciate it. Apparently, he, Pavarish also appreciated it.
Yeah.
Whatever you did for him.
Yeah, it was. I really do need to pay him another visit soon.
Hey, well, tell it. I would suggest before you use that sigil, go to second ring. Go there, talk to Family Holder.
All right, I think I will.
Because we may have something to bring him, and that would give you opportunity.
That I would love to help.
It
if I
is
can.
certainly also a very nice way to repay that kindness that he gave you.
Absolutely, I would be more than happy to.
Great.
All right, well, I think we're gonna look around some more things. Unless, did you want to?
No, I'm alright. I mean, I might have a little look. I might have a look-see around with them.
Sure, I still do. We just got here, so there's a lot of stuff I want to see.
Well, I am sure the Rovek family would be happy to help you.
Thank you.
Yes. Just show that sigil.
Absolutely.
Finding the ore.
Yeah.
Just kind of for the sake of brevity, is there anything that you're specifically asking for, or like, are you?
Yeah, no. So they have ore here.
It's a lot of raw.
If they processed any of it into like, no,
They don't process any of it. It's a lot of raw stuff. They kind of like. It seems like the Rovak family is a multi-tiered business.
So do they hire someone else to process and they do smithing
Yeah.
themselves?
Yeah.
So they get ore and smithing, but not processing. Okay. I'll talk to someone in the ore and ask if they know who I can go to about processed smith grade materials.
Yeah, they give you the listing for someone. It's someone who's backed by the Forge.
Okay.
Yeah. On the opposites, on like the there's like this line of forges right there that then go into like the hotels and stuff on the western entrance, or eastern entrance. I think I said eastern entrance, and then that other side would be where the where you guys were trying to go anyway. So it's like it's kind of around the side. Like he's like that's where we do it at least.
Sure.
There could be others.
Yeah.
But you'd have to find them along the way. Like,
cool.
There's other things that he could suggest, but he's like, that's if you want to know what we do, that's what we do.
Yeah, it's good enough for me. C is for cookie. Whoops.
All right.
C is for copper, and that's
C is for copper. It's good enough for me.
Leaving the Rovek holding. Are your fingers staying in your pockets?
I mean, I'm trying to be very good,
Okay.
but like, is there anything else in the open that is particularly shiny?
There are plenty of things that are out in the open that are particularly shiny, for sure. Because again, you're passing a lot of ore, so there's like a lot of straight up silver chunks and gold. And there are other places. There's other parts of it that are like, ooh, that's a nice ring. Ooh, that's a nice necklace.
I do really like a nice ring.
Okay, all right, and even some of the like smaller equipment and like little like climbing claws and things like that are a lot nicer than the other ones you guys got instead.
Pretty ones. All right, great, dope. Does it look like anybody is particularly keeping an eye on maybe like the rings side section?
No, it's kind of open.
All right. Yeah, I think I'm gonna. I want to be good though. I want to be good. Can I just see if I can? I kind of just want to like, casually like not feel like I'm like really looking at anything, but I just kind of want to, as I walk past, just sort of brush my hands along the thing and see if anything
Falls into
gets
your pockets.
caught on a finger.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a sleight of hand.
All right. Should be +11. Oh my god! I swear to God.
We have no idea this is happening.
You're walking with her. You can give a perception check.
And you could also stop me.
The thing I'm missing.
If
I don't know what's happening.
If he doesn't know what's happening, he can't. But that's why
If you tell me to stop, I will stop.
It's a 13 perception.
That is a 37. Oh no, 27.
Jesus Christ!
Oh! You don't see it.
Does anyone else?
Oh Christ!
You don't know.
Sorry, I'm away.
Well, I mean, if I'm immediately like
Sorry,
No, I'm saying you don't know if anybody else saw you,
right.
but you know for a fact that you
One got stuck.
one got stuck.
I mean, well, I just before I leave the store,
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure that there's no like security tabs.
Sure.
Because if not, I could just be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. If there's a security tab on it, I don't want to."
There's no tab.
There's no tab.
Nope.
No one around me looked particularly specific.
Nobody.
Suspicious?
As you kind of casually glance around, nobody's following you. Nobody's giving you a sign of.
Can I do a
to catch
perception
you.
check to make doubly sure?
Yes.
I'm not trying to get my friend Philip, who is a friend here, in trouble.
I'm also just saying, as part of your character,
I know.
you like the shiny.
I love the shiny, but I'm not trying to get my friend in trouble.
Do I see these punks?
Yeah. As you're kind of leaving, you see these bumps.
Okay.
That is an 11.
Such a hard time reading these.
You're not.
That's a 2.
Again, like it's sort of the same thing. You're just like, no particular attention is being paid towards you.
What did I swipe?
It was a silver ring. As you kind of like open your palm to look at it, very gingerly.
I'm gonna do it outside the store.
Oh, then you don't know what you palmed. You just
Oh,
palmed
okay.
the ring.
I palmed something.
I guess it's no longer a silver ring because now it won't be a surprise.
Yeah, I know. It sure shit ain't a silver ring.
Yeah, you see these fools.
Alright, 1 second.
Nope.
Alright.
I hate this.
I know. This is the thing. You goaded me into it, so now I'm like a little nervous that there's definitely someone watching me because you already rolled the fucking dice.
If it's what you do, it's what you do. I just hate it.
It's what I do.
I also asked you a question, and then you decided to do it. I feel like I had no say in the matter.
Well, like that was the thing because you like tried to goad me into more roles before, and I like backed off, and now I'm just like.
So.
Yeah, I'm motherfucker.
Question: is it like are they just like bins of stuff, like bins of?
Not like bins. They're. It's
Bins
more
and
like
rings.
like in Ren Fair where they had things like in a case or like within.
Oh, okay.
More like that, where they're on display and there's plenty of them, but it is one of those things where it's less like.
But I was thinking like something like what I would be doing drunkenly would be like, you know how like the shoes are like folded this way, like they'll face forward, like flipping them and like facing them backwards. But if they're like that, then no.
You could like go to all these things and just be like.
Agent of Chaos.
Yeah, like, basically I was
And
thinking.
you're like.
I was kind of thinking like, you know how like they have like the price tags and like switching price tags. I'm like, oh, this got $600 now.
They don't have any price tags.
That's why one of you was doing that thing.
Yeah,
oh
yeah,
well,
yeah.
crap.
They have
Yeah.
0 price tag? Oh no.
Well, he
There's
gave you
definitely a fucking enchantment on these things. There's definitely a fucking enchantment
Give
on these
me
things.
as you're walking towards the door. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
It's going
Do
to
I get my +3?
explode
Yeah.
on you.
Right next to Philip?
Yeah.
Alright.
That's why I said saving throw. I didn't say ability check.
Okay, I hope you get covered in blue ink like they do in those movies.
It would be really funny if there was like an explosion of ink.
That would be awesome. I should have thought of
So
that.
that is an 11.
Oh god.
Okay.
Oh god.
I'm just still doing this. I don't want to be you all.
Oh no.
Fail it.
Stay cool.
He didn't fail it. I'm caught. I'm going to get thrown
Alright.
into jail. You guys need
As
to
you-
come and rescue me.
As you walk towards the door, about 30 feet before you even cross the threshold,
No.
you
No.
stop.
Mm-hmm.
You think about it. And you're like, not here.
I just put it down.
What do you do? I'm saying you get to the moment where you're about to walk out and you just kind of like get this.
Should I?
You get this uneasy, just like little hair prick.
Nope, I drop it.
You just drop it.
Mm-hmm. I'm
You
just
drop
like,
the ring.
oh shit, fuck, what?
Hey, you dropped a ring.
Oh my god, Jesus Christ. This is
Is
the
it
problem.
yours?
This is the problem with the capes thing. Every time I walk past, they always get caught on my hand. Hang on. Who does this? I'm gonna just put it on the nearest counter.
Sure.
It's not yours.
Put it on the counter.
No, it's definitely not. Like, I mean, like, I have the whole, like, I have the septum, and then I have
And you
two
guys
in this
walk
one,
out
and
the
one in this
door.
one, and then... That's all the rings that
No
I
issue.
really have.
Okay.
Who, me? The innocent person. As I walk out the door.
The side of the door, those
Yeah.
dwarven sigils.
Yeah.
The ones that were brought to only one of our attention.
I said it out loud.
Yeah, no, 100%. We didn't know what they were for, but
But the thing is...
Yeah,
But-
I know. I was like, I'm not gonna be near
But the
that
thing
area.
is, I know the look on that DM's face, and he was going to kill me with
I
a
s-
bunch of dwarven sigils and possibly lasers.
I really
So-
definitely wanted blue ink on you, though.
Yeah.
I wish I
okay.
would have thought of that. That would have been great.
That would have been great. I was just gonna cut you in half.
What's the for
Can I look
shoes?
for? Is there any place around? Or I guess there was the Hellpike place that had shields. Is there a place that looks like they do specialize in shields close by? Or is that not really their vibe?
It's one of those things where, like, are you talking like enchanting shields?
Or just where it looks like they focus a lot on shields, like shields.
On the way, you do see a shop that like heavily focuses in that, and more so than the other one where it was like we do a couple things and then we like repurpose stuff. It's like no, we specifically make things for. It seemed like like a wartime, or not wartime, but just like it's militaristic in its design.
Okay. Can I check that real quick?
Made for combat. Sure. Again, for brevity's sake, what are you looking for?
Just
Anything
if there's
that's
any,
special?
just a variety of the shields, just like
They have the different options, the buckler.
they have bucklers. And
Yeah,
tower
they
shields,
have that stuff. Some of the materials that are on these shields are mithril. One of them is adamantine, but there are also there's like a copper shield that is fire resistance. There is a shield of. I'd say there'd also be like a shield of.
Are any of the,
Thunder resistance as well.
are any of these with resistance or with mithril or adamantine built? Are any of them bucklers? Or are they standard shields?
No, actually, yeah. There's a mithril version of both the medium shield and a buckler.
How would the mithril shield differ?
It's about weight.
So the mithril's lighter.
Yes,
Right.
mithril is lighter. That's like what Liam's hammers are made of.
Right. Okay.
As
Lord of the Rings.
durable. Yeah, I mean, that's the point of mithril is that it's durable. It's as durable as other metals, but the point is that it's light.
Okay.
It can make a heavy armor medium armor.
I want to just call them over real quick.
Yeah, they didn't leave you, but they're kind of with
Just
you.
want to draw their attention and just so I know a lot of you like to keep your hands free, but I think one of these smaller shields might actually be helpful for
I think I meant one of
We
the
have house
salespeople.
rules for bucklers, yeah? Like, you can either use both hands, or you can decide not to and then get the bonus of the shield to your AC? Right.
I would reason that a mithril buckler would do something more. I don't know what that is at this moment, but it would do an extra thing.
I mean, I have no use for a shield. I don't know if anyone.
I'm interested in the I'm often using both my hands, but it would be nice if I'm not going to be able to defend myself a little better. But this looks very nice, and I'm very poor. Is my main thing. It's something I'm interested in. I just need to find a way to earn money. It turns out I need money. How did this happen to me? What happened to my life?
One of us came up with ideas for breaking the economy.
Listen.
Word of the day.
Economy. There it goes.
How much are the shields running? The buckler specifically.
Yeah. I remember.
I feel like
if I see the cost of regular shields, I'll remember what the shield cost is for bucklers.
Yeah. And I guess also I'm curious what we're pricing tower shields at as well, because I'm debating whether I should get one or not.
Tower shield is interesting.
The house rules for tower shields are also interesting.
Real good.
Yeah. Basically, it's a +3 to AC instead of a +2, but it cuts your speed down.
For the buckler, it is going to be 250.
For the mithril version or the regular version?
For the mithril.
What does a regular buckler run?
5.
5 gold. All right.
Yeah, you're talking about a very expensive material.
Yeah. Is that all the variety on the buckler? It's just regular and then mithril?
Yeah. At this moment, that's kind of what it's one of those things where you can tell that like it's not a new invention or anything like that, but like it's a new fabrication
niche.
Yeah.
Yeah. They haven't really
Seems like the
delved into
dwarves
this
don't
one
really
recently.
care about bucklers, but as they're kind of sending out stuff to other places, it's something that's relatively important for other things. But the tower shield is going to be more than that. It will be sorry.
For just like regular price on it. Although honestly, a mithril tower shield would be really interesting.
A regular price for a tower shield would be 15.
15. That's not bad.
Yeah. But then any special materials are going to be. It's essentially for mithril, it's times 50. 50 times the cost. For adamantine, it's 25 times the cost. Any enchantments is an additional cost on top of that.
Okay. Good to know how that works.
Do you think we should maybe go talk to your friend who gave you the little sigil to see if maybe he has a better deal somewhere?
Well, he's not here, but we can go to the business house. What do they call it?
The holding?
Well, that was the
homestead?
holding.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. It's like it's more of like the business. I don't know what
the
their
financial
house.
Yeah.
thing.
House with
I'm a ninja
the
now.
main house,
I
like
think
the main.
ninja.
You know,
Yeah, I think before we buy anything, we should go there.
there's a term
I think
for
that's not
like
a bad idea.
headquarters. Fuck, that's what I'm trying to say. Headquarters. Yeah, the headquarters of is the second rank. Is the financial district.
Because I bet if they, run shit around here, because every time you flash that thing, everyone's like, wow. So, like, I bet they have a discount of some sort, or
Yeah, we should talk to them before we.
a best buddies discount?
Yeah. I talked to the guy once. Just think it's funny.
I mean, he gave you the thing.
Yeah. I think we should talk to them before we buy anything. I just wanted to see what was out there.
I'd love to stop by the refinery quick. See if I can, because I don't need anything special. I'm not looking for anything magical or anything. I just need some materials. So I doubt that it wouldn't be worth using your fancy discount on. So I'd love to just stop by if we could keep heading down this
Which
way.
is along the way.
Yeah.
To
The stairs or to
The
the
car-
For the headquarters?
The gondola. How do we get between rings? Is it a cool gondola?
There are stairs and there are mine carts.
Mine carts.
Oh my god.
Yeah, mine
But
carts.
no, it's on the way to the Fraterfillers.
Oh yes.
Let's keep going, I guess.
You gotta go to the
Let's go to the refinery.
For the sake of brevity, getting the how much are you looking to get of the copper?
Oh yeah. So I want to stop in and see what the price. Honestly, I'd love to know what the prices per like bar of copper.
A bar of copper is essentially a gold's worth of copper.
Okay, and that's
Is what I'm gonna say. It's like you
This
A
and
brick.
that's is that the price I'd be able to get instead? Are they? If I
Yeah.
from what I know, they're not hassling.
Yeah, they're not
Alright.
they're not hustling, they're not hassling, nothing like that.
I think it'd be cheaper because of the middleman.
Yeah, right.
You would think.
And this is the Tiberan, Tiberan, Tiberan smeltery.
Smeltery.
I don't know if that's actually what the term is, but for now that's what it is.
So I think refinery.
Refinery
Makes
is
sense.
that's refinery.
Excuse me.
So yeah, it would be a gold's worth for a bar like that. You understand that to make the thing that you want to make probably would take about a bar.
Right. Okay.
Just in the sense of like
it'd give me room for.
to make a mistake, and you would have just enough to you could make
After that.
basically if you were crafting it and you failed once, you could do it one more time with one bar. You basically have 2 tries per bar.
Yeah.
For the
I'm gonna get 3.
So 3 gold, and then you have 3 ingots of copper to use as material.
All right.
And as you guys make your way towards the Fraterfuller Inn,
Excuse me.
we will call it a day.
God damn it.
Ah,
Fine.
I want to meet the Fraterfullers.
I know.
It's a
Yeah.
weird sitcom.
Meet the Fraterfullers.
Yeah. Thanks for sitting in on this one. This was a lot
Shopping!
of shopping, a lot of
Shopping
lore.
time.
And I know that
Let's go
sucks.
for
I
alcohol.
it's one of those things. But I honestly, this is us. Like this is.
We do
this is
not
our bread and
shop
butter.
this much.
Not shop this much, but
I mean,
We've shopped twice.
I
in
mean,
the
I
last
almost
3
did
episodes.
something, so
That was exciting. I was excited.
I really wanted to get it out, but I knew the second you were like,
you sure?
"Are you sure?" Yeah.
you sure
like,
you knew?
I mean, like
Was there something that was going to happen?
the sheer delight in which you suggested the idea was rather like I would
Honestly,
like to try
my
out my
delight-
security system on
My
a
delight
suspecting bird
comes
person.
more from the idea of like, well, it's time for her to own up to her character.
I know. I don't. It's like Bridget is very nervous about that,
Yeah.
and Click Whistle is not.
Nope.
Like,
That's why I brought it up.
I just didn't see anything. I have no idea even.
I didn't see any
Yeah.
animals, so.
I didn't see any else.
Yeah, this is probably the least
This is
nameless
like the
place on the earth.
stupidest place.
It really is. I hate that.
Equipment's the
it's all
only place to
metal,
put
it's all-
items. Yeah.
Yes.
There's
Thank
there's
you.
no.
Just we can make
copper.
one. We can
That's
make
cool.
one.
excuse me, I'm so sorry.
Just copper bars aren't on there.
People are
Yeah.
dudes.
Thank you for watching. Seriously.
Yes.
This is a lot of fun, and I feel like we're getting somewhere. We're getting these kids are they're getting into some shit.
Well, the Fraterfullers are coming next.
Oh, the
I'm
Fraterfullers
so
are coming.
excited for Fraterfuller.
Don't worry, the Fraterfullers are coming.
The Firefly's coming. The Firefly's
Have a good
coming.
night, everybody.
Thanks
Bye,
for
guys.
thank
Wait.
you so much for watching.